Hello, and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here, Heidi over there. Heidi ho, Heidi.
I told you my hair fell down.
Oh, hey Google, turn on the studio.
Got it. Turning on 4 lights.
And now you are lit. Okay, yeah.
Maybe not that one.
Whew. So yeah, we were a little bit late, because I had a kid on a field trip that was like, yeah, no, the bus is supposed to get back to the school at 10, so I need somebody to pick me up at 10. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I kind of want to go through this Harrison Butker commencement address with you because you have no idea what's going on with that.
I have no idea.
And I think that would be funny. Exposing you to painful things is my way of amusing myself.
Okay.
It's a form of entertainment.
Floats your boat, is your boat floating?
Yeah, so we were like, yeah, we could do a quick 2-hour stream, and then I could go pick her up at school. And, oh, hello. Hello, dog. And then we got a text like 45 minutes before we were going to go live. I mean, like, yeah, we just left now. Bus is going to be there at 8:30. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can stream afterwards. And then we don't have a hard cutoff. We can just go until we fall asleep. Yeah, then I got to the school for 8:40. I was there at 8:40 because the traffic was terrible because there's a bridge closed on the highway. And so all of the cars had to divert down Thoroldstone Road.
Yeah, you should
Which
have
is
gone
the
like
way
a
to the
well-in, probably.
Yeah, I probably should have, but I still got there before the bus, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's why we're late.
We late.
We're late for a very important
He's
date.
late. I've been sitting here for a while now.
Yeah, she's been sitting here for a while, apparently singing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands,
I was.
but forgetting the last line, which is the same as the first 4 lines. So that's fun.
We don't have to tell people that.
No, but it's funny. So yes, I do. Yeah, and also just like,
Fine.
in general, our lives have been crazy recently. Like, am I okay to share the thingy that you...
Which one? I don't know what you can't just say
The medical
thing.
one.
Oh, like, is there only one?
I think there's
Can't even tell.
the one that required a new prescription.
Yes.
So yeah, in my household over the last 2 to 3 weeks, there has been... What is that? Oh, that's a hat. Okay, we'll do tinfoil hat. So yeah, over the last 2 to 3 weeks, in my household, there have been 2 ADHD diagnoses, 1 autism diagnosis, 1 diabetes diagnosis, and that's not even getting into the stuff that I am not free to share because I don't have permission from the people who it involves the most. So it's been a fun month.
So much fun.
Yay!
It's so much fun. Okay, there you go. Down.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Down.
Jess is saying I said the medical stuff on Wednesday.
Oh.
And I was like, I actually yelled for you to ask your permission first, and then I'm like, no, every time I've done that before, she's like laughed at me for even thinking that I would need to ask. So I shared anyway. And I turned out to be correct. Okay, so are you ready? You ready to watch an idiot give a commencement address?
Well, Puddles won't let me.
I mean, you need to put in your headphones.
Yeah, Puddles won't let me.
Yes, you will.
Okay, down.
You just got to roll.
Down.
You can roll with her on your lap.
Go ahead. All the way down. Good girl. Thank you. Sound check.
Yeah, we didn't actually get to do the sound check. Dark Excalibur says, have a prescription for a new hat! Which I guess they sent with the hats off thing, but I didn't see it. Okay, so we're going to watch Harrison Butker's commencement address. Ooh.
Oh, hold on.
Hydrate. I don't have my water bottle, sorry. I don't have my beer either. You got me beer, right?
Yeah, it's in the fridge.
You didn't put it in the freezer, did you?
I did, and then I put it in the fridge.
Oh, okay, so as long as it's not still in the freezer. Okay, so I will be back with some beer and water. First, got to make sure that... Okay.
Brr.
Because, no, like an hour before we were planning on streaming the first time, I was running Windows System Restore on my computer. because of the technical issues I was having last time. I had to uninstall OBS and then reinstall it, but when I did that, it broke my Stream Deck.
I don't actually know what he's saying.
And then when I uninstalled the software for the Stream Deck to reinstall it, the reinstall kept crashing. Mm-hmm. So, but thankfully, before I did all that, I set a restore point, so I had to go back and restore my computer.
Thankfully,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're so thankful for that.
So, yeah, I'll be back with booze.
Yeah. So it's just you and me. So what do we talk about, guys? I got really nothing. Nothing. Actually, everything's going on, but nothing.
You don't know what's going on?
No, I said everything's going on.
Everything is going on.
Yeah, like I literally have everything going on.
Yeah, Can I say the email you got today?
Oh, sure.
That's not covered by any
No,
legally gotta stay quiet stuff. Yeah, so we're being sued by a lawyer right now for non-payment. Except the thing is, we paid them by email money transfer, and they just never bothered to accept the email money transfer, and it expired. And then they emailed us being like, hey, the money transfer expired. Can you please send us more money? And but the services that they provided were such that your lawyer sent them a letter explaining how shit they were, and was like, yeah, we don't think we should have to pay for this, and we await your response. And there was no response. And the last we heard from them was the guy that we were supposed to pay was on vacation. He'll get back to you when he gets back in the office.
That was in January.
That was in January.
10th.
He never emailed back until today when we got an email being like, yeah, you owe me like $4,000. But if you pay me $2,000 now, we'll just call it even. Otherwise, we're going to court.
True story.
Yeah, Jassa says, ha 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 ha, it's never good when you're professionally told your shit by your peers. Yeah, you should, I wish I could share the email that you wrote to him today, because like the snark was just out of this world.
Why can't you? I don't say his last name.
Okay.
Or the company.
I guess I could. You guys want some tea on a bad lawyer?
Bad lawyer.
Yeah, but there might be details about the... Well, I suppose it's not like details.
Just don't say the name. Say my name, say my name.
So, thank you. We will be paying the $2,000 again on Monday. The retainer was originally paid in a timely manner on August 10th, 2023. However, your office did not accept it in time and allowed it to expire. Please see attached email. I'm a bit confused, as in our last conversation on January 10th, you advised that so-and-so would be getting back to me once he was back in the office again, and this is the first email I've received from you or him since that date. However, I do understand that it was his responsibility to address this issue, and in my experience with him, this is an accurate reflection of his professionalism.
Story.
And then, in a sidebar, so this was an email sent to their accountant and this guy, and then and the next part is like specifically directed at him. It says, because like one of the things he said was like, yeah, no, you weren't really terribly happy with the outcome. Like you didn't get the outcome that you wanted from it was a mediator. So you didn't get the outcome you wanted from the mediation. And you know, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but whatever. But it's like, that's not what our problem was with them at all. So she wrote, you may have me confused with another unhappy client, as our misunderstanding of the settlement is only one of the issues I had with your unprofessional service, as stated in a letter from my lawyer, which I have attached to refresh your memory. But here are a few highlights. During the mediation, my lawyer and I were left on hold for almost an hour and then disconnected with no attempt made by your office to reconnect and continue our discussions.
True story.
You advised that you would be providing a summary of the mediation shortly afterwards. However, my lawyer did not receive it for 2 weeks and was required to follow up on several occasions. Your report was a brief email that contained an error with the opposing party's income, contradictory information between so-and-so's income and child support payable, and listed my lawyer's name in place of my own. It took over 1 month to receive a response from you on the parenting time issue discussed, and the response was not accurate. Regards, Heidi.
True story.
Yeah, the snark is just off the charts, and I love it. And, like, all of that is true, and it wasn't even everything.
No. I'm waiting, because he opened his own practice, I'm waiting for it to, like, have Google reviews. I don't ever review anything, but I'm, like, gonna...
He will be the first.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, just stalk him online, like, his company, until goes live. It was shit. It was so fucking
And
terrible.
it's like, yeah, we are going to pay because our lawyer did advise that we should pay again. So, and this is actually like with the, like, because technically it's in the debt collection phase or whatever. And the first thing they do is like offer a settlement where like, if you pay less than you actually owe, we'll just wipe it clean. We should confirm that they're not going to report that it's an underpayment to the credit bureau before we do that. Because that is something I used to be a debt collector. That's a thing that we did. So yeah, I don't know if he has enough information on you to be able to even do a report to the credit bureau, but that is still something that we should look into. Okay. Lord of Uzkalak says, is he a lawyer or a mobster?
With the last name that he has, maybe.
Maybe it could be.
Maybe.
Yeah, and the mob is allegedly active in the Niagara region. And I may or may not have worked for at least two of the families. There are three families.
Yeah, no.
And not to get too stereotypical, but they're all Italian. So, anyway, now that we've gotten our personal tea aired out in public, shall we watch a Butker?
Okay, I'm here.
And you got your headphones in?
No, I had to take them out because I could hear you echoing.
Oh, you can hear me in there?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I can fix that.
I mean, I'll just take it out when the video's done.
We're not watching the whole thing and then responding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How's this? Is this better?
Well, I don't know because the video's not playing.
Yeah, I know, but can you hear me?
No.
But you can hear me in person.
I can, but how do I know if I hear the video yet?
Because I didn't uncheck the one that the video is going through. Okay. Did I tell Heidi about Buttface's mom? No, she doesn't know anything about it yet.
What?
She's a complete butt-face virgin.
Who's their mom? They've got a mom.
I mean, I did just call you a butt-face virgin. Are we gonna...
Well, technically I am.
Okay, on to Butker.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class.
Hold on, pause it.
24.
Oh, you turned up. I need to turn up volume. Somebody.
We both needed to turn up the volume. It was a little quiet on my end as well.
I would like to start off by congratulating all of you for successfully making it to this achievement today. I'm sure your high school graduation was not what you had imagined, and most likely neither was your first couple years of college. By making it to this moment through all the adversity thrown your way from COVID, I hope you learned the important lessons that suffering in this life is only temporary.
Unless you have chronic illness.
I was thinking about chronic illness today, and I have decided, because my body is literally falling apart. I turned 40, and it is now just...
I watched it happen. She was fine when I met her, and then I just ruined her, apparently.
I don't know that I would want to live, like, when I'm older, if I'm in chronic pain.
Okay, so that is a discussion that we should have sooner rather than later. No. We can talk about it because I am an advocate for medical assistance in dying. Mm-hmm. And I don't. You were with me when Rhodey Green went through that.
No.
Okay. Well, he was a fan of the channel. That he contacted me.
The ALS? No.
No. I don't think he had ALS. Might have been ALS. I'm not sure. But yeah, he contacted me and was like, I am currently on the wait list for medical assistance in dying. I'd appreciate it if you could like say a few words about it at the end of one of your videos. And here's, you know, the information that I have on it. And yeah, no, so we had a few conversations about it. I was in contact with his partner who I got the feeling didn't particularly care for me, but respected the fact that Rhodey did.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. And there was a thing at the end where she emailed me and was like, she had a post-death bereavement experience, and she took that as like an actual conversation, and she emailed me being like, oh, well, you know, I hope you reconsider your atheist position because this shows life after death, and like, just try and refute it. And it's kind of, well, that wasn't quite the tone. It was more polite than that, but that was kind of what it seemed to be getting at. And And that's just one of those things where it's like, no. If you had that experience and it comforted you, then I'm happy you had that experience. I don't need to like talk about it on the channel and try and debunk it. No, she had an experience that was important to her.
Right.
I'm not gonna contradict that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that she had that
the talk
experience.
about it on your channel
Oh,
part.
yeah. There's 30 people watching right now.
Well, you also didn't really say what her experience was, so. Okay. So.
On with Butker.
Something about.
Yeah. Another thing about him though is that he's a kicker on
that's all I know about
on
him.
Taylor Swift's football team. And I didn't know this on Wednesday because I'm not a football guy. I don't know anything about football except that the quarterback is a thing that exists, and so is the tight end. And tight end sounds funny, so that's what I know about football. But apparently the kicker.
Did you not ever watch Ace Ventura?
Yes.
Laces out. Like.
What does that mean?
Oh, I love you.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched it.
Okay, keep going.
But yeah, so I guess the kicker is like the mostly useless part of the team, where like he plays 1 every 3 games, and they also have very short careers because it doesn't take very many missed field goals for them to start hunting for a new kicker.
Okay.
I don't know how accurate that is, but that is what I've heard from other people that do watch football. So, apparently Twitch is buffering, but YouTube isn't. Sorry. Yeah, so he's a kicker. The kicker is he's a kicker.
Ha!
As a group, you witnessed firsthand how bad leaders who don't stay in their lane can have a negative impact on society.
The guy who kicks ball for living and is now giving a commencement address that is supposed to be giving like actionable life advice to young people says that leaders need to leaders when they don't stay in their lane cause problems.
I have a question. Can you look up what his degree's in?
His degree?
Yeah.
I want to say it was electrical engineering. It was engineering of one sort or another. Why?
Just wondering, because apparently he's a political science major in his mind, because that seems to be his lane. Because it's not football that he is talking about, and it's not electrical engineering.
Yeah, remove. I hit Control D instead of Control F. He's got a degree in industrial engineering.
Oh, industrial engineering.
Industrial engineering.
Yes, that
So
would be your lane.
He
That
kick
and
ball for
football.
living, and he can do industrial engineering, so naturally he knows all about political leadership.
Yeah.
It is through this lens that I want to take stock of how we got to where we are and where we want to go as citizens and, yes, as Catholics. One last thing before
It's Benedictine College is Catholic college, which actually the nuns of the Benedictine order have actually come out and spoken against his thing.
I like that.
I begin, I want to be sure to thank President Minnis and the board for their invitation to speak. When President Minnis first reached out a couple of months ago, you see, last year I gave the commencement address at my alma mater, Georgia Tech, and I felt that one graduation speech was more than enough.
I agree. And apparently so does everybody else on the internet. But also, like, he's not even an alma mater. Like, this isn't even his alma mater. Like, why did they get him to speak there?
Like, okay, so does he play football in their area now?
I don't think so, because Kansas City is where? Oklahoma?
I don't know.
And where's Benedictine College? I don't know.
I mean, maybe that's why.
Why is Kansas City not in fucking Kansas?
I don't know.
Especially for someone who isn't a professional speaker. But of course, President Minnis.
Okay, first of all, you are taught to speak for press releases and like. So.
He's the kicker, though. How often does the press want to talk to him?
Depending on if he makes the field goal. But like, they're all still prepped to talk to the media.
Jassa Proxy is saying Benedictine is in Indiana, and Kansas City is halfway in Kansas, half in Missouri.
Huh. Interesting.
And then there are people in the YouTube chat that are just typing halfway in all text. There were multiple messages, but that was the first one I saw, and I thought it was funny.
But of course, President Minnis used his gift of persuasion and spoke to the many
I'm
challenges
sure that's
you all face.
I'm sure that's at least
throughout the
somewhat
COVID
amusing if you know
fiasco,
President
and how you
Menace.
missed out on so many milestones the rest of us older people have taken for granted.
Oh, forgot to mention. So I said earlier, he looked like there are two things that he looks like, physical appearance wise. If white privilege was a person,
Okay.
and also if the Chad meme had brown hair instead of blonde, which I took the liberty of.
do it.
I took the liberty of giving him brown hair. So yeah, he's the Chad meme, and yeah, I know. There are people out there who will see this comparison and be like, "Yeah, he's the Chad. Yeah, that's always the good one in the meme." But like, no, it's the white privileged asshole.
No, it's the frat boy.
Yeah.
Chad. Okay, Chad. Sorry, Chads.
While COVID might have played a large role throughout your formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and
So COVID's not unique.
How many pandemics has he lived through?
Yeah, like that. It was incredibly unique. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Like, I mean, if you're old enough, maybe you remember the flu
But
of
you know
1917.
what? If you have enough money, it could just seem like nothing.
Fair.
Because your lifestyle doesn't necessarily have to change, because you don't have to go to the grocery store. You don't have to do these things. You just order it online and it shows up at your house. If you still want to travel, you can pay really expensive money and go travel somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're privileged enough, COVID wasn't that big a deal.
No.
poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things
Oh, just for the record, he doesn't seem to be aware of this, but the lockdown started under Trump, not Biden. But he most definitely blames Biden for them.
Of course.
like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia,
So abortion, IBS is very different from IVF.
Euthanasia.
Abortion, surrogacy, IVF, and euthanasia are all bad things in his mind. I mean, surrogacy, I could see there is some problematic nature around, like, the exploitation of poor people.
So, people just aren't allowed to have kids if they can't have kids?
I mean, he's Catholic, so no. God will give you kids in your time. And if you can't have kids, it must be because you're sinning. Or some shit.
But why, if...
So Justice
Like-
says, I still don't understand the aversion to IVF. It's about making children you want to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in doing IVF, you also make a bunch of embryos that will never become children, and they have to be destroyed. And that's killing babies.
Okay. I see, Chad.
Yeah.
I see.
And yeah, then of course we got every sperm is sacred, every sperm is good. If a sperm is wasted. I'm in the wrong verse because in my head it went to God gets so irate, but that doesn't rhyme with wasted,
No.
and I can't remember which one rhymes with that. Okay, whatever.
as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder.
The pervasiveness of every sperm is great, sure. Didn't know you're so musical. I'm not so musical. I just like to sing. Yeah, so the pervasive degeneracy is, of course, trans people and gay people. LGBTQ people.
Our own nation is
Oh, another thing I found out since Wednesday. Apparently a lot of male cheerleaders have come forward and said he slept with them in college.
What?
So when he gives his anti-gay portion of the speech...
But it's not gay if there's no penetration.
That's right. Yes, we learned that on Twit tweets. Yeah, there's one moth that just keeps going in between us. Yeah, we learned that on Twit tweets, is that if it doesn't go in the butthole, it's not actually gay. So you can hot dog it all you want.
led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same
Donald Trump isn't Catholic. He's the guy that did the lockdowns.
time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally.
I mean, I'll make the sign of the cross while blaspheming if you want. Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't understand what that has to do with any... I'm so fucking confused right now.
He doesn't like Joe Biden, and it's important to make sure these college graduates know that. Joe Biden, bad.
I know,
That's
but
the life advice I'm giving you in your commencement. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking moth!
But, like, what does him doing the cross have to...
Because it was at a pro-abortion thing. I don't even know what that's referencing. I'm just going to assume that it's true that Joe Biden... There was a prayer at some, like... It probably wasn't a pro-abortion thing. It was probably just, like, a Planned Parenthood board meeting or some shit. But, like, because abortion is technically something that's affiliated with it, it's automatically a pro-abortion event.
I'm just confused as what implication making the cross does.
Oh, because he's a Catholic. So making the cross is the thing that they do.
I know, but what implication does it do
because he's
wherever you are?
Well, so here's my take on this. I have seen Catholics make the sign of the cross when they are disturbed by something. So maybe he went to this pro-abortion thing and was like, "Oh my god, abortion."
That's what I mean. Like, I have a friend. She does it every
does,
time she crosses like the graveyard that her dad's at.
Yeah.
Like, people do it after prayer. People do it for good luck.
I know,
like,
but he probably it was probably just after a prayer or something. Like, there
yeah,
was a prayer
I know.
to
That's
open
what
the
I mean.
thing.
Like, I don't understand what.
Because that is showing a sign of approval or whatever, even though they sometimes do it with disapproval. Although, like, Joe Biden has made it explicit that he does approve of abortion. My little geekery is sending a butterfly emoji. Butterflies are fine. This moth is an asshole.
Yeah,
Like-
butterflies don't usually come around you. They just try and stay away. But moths seem to be like, hey, what's up? Let's just be friends.
Yeah, I don't want to be his friend.
Okay, what's next?
He has
My
been
hair-
so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies that I'm sure to many people, it appears that you can be both Catholic and pro-choice.
I mean, the majority of Catholics are pro-choice. So, yes?
We have a winner.
He is not alone. From
No, he's not there we go.
the man behind the COVID lockdowns,
That would be Donald Trump, not Joe Biden.
to the people pushing dangerous gender ideologies onto the youth of America,
Dangerous gender ideologies.
Love yourself and be free to be you. Are those my ideologies?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
That's-
There are potentially 3 trans kids in our house. None of us pushed that on any of them.
Nope.
They just knew that it was an option to not identify with
Well,
the
we have
sex they
3
were
gender
assigned.
diverse children.
Yeah. Well, non-binary counts as trans.
Does it?
It does.
Okay.
The non-binary friends that I have say that non-binary counts as trans, so I take their word for it.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, but like, I didn't push that on them. And I'm sure you have all heard, I am still struggling with the pronouns, because 2 of them go by they, and because, like, there was, like, 10 and 14 years, respectively, of he and she, the transition to they has been a difficult one, and they don't want to correct me on it, so it's not like when the name changed, it was fairly easy to adjust to that, and now I just think of them with their new names,
Yeah.
because if I got it wrong they would correct me, but the pronouns, they don't correct me. And so, like, even though I still think of them with those pronouns, the default pronouns come out more easily because those are the ones that I knew them as for more
When
time.
I get angry,
Sorry?
when I get angry, they come out. The
The theys?
No. The assigned at birth pronouns.
Ah.
True story. I've noticed that
Oh,
recently.
hi, Fennec.
But
Phoenix
they're
in the
working on
chat.
it in therapy. Don't you worry. They're working on
They
it.
are working. Yeah, that's one of the things they're working on in therapy, is being more assertive. But yeah, and I feel bad anytime I notice myself doing that. But yeah, I'll get there eventually.
What I say is my mom can very rarely remember my name compared to my sister's name. So if I get your pronouns wrong, please don't
That's
get
a-
upset, because my mom doesn't even remember my own name that she gave me.
Yeah, the struggle is real. Rainey says kickers aren't real players anyway.
they all have a glaring thing in common. They are Catholic. This
I
is an
forget who they
important
are.
reminder that being Catholic alone
And I
doesn't
don't want to go
cut
back
it.
for it.
These are
Being Catholic alone doesn't cut it.
the sorts of things we are told in polite society to not bring up. You know,
And
Okay.
yet here he is on the podium in front. He's on a podium in front of a bunch of graduates complaining about things he's not allowed to say while saying those things.
And not being in his own lane.
Yes, and not being in his own lane. He comes back to that several times.
Okay, so I think we've already established that a good chunk of your audience is neurospicy. Can you please up the speed on this video?
You guys all good with 1.5 speed?
Ah.
Fennec says, Heidi, I'll do you one better. My granny would call me by my dad's name. Granny was my dad's mom. I am assigned female at birth and one of her exactly 2 grandchildren.
Yep. See? Once we have kids, we just don't remember things anymore.
Fennec, what are your pronouns? Because I have it in my head that you are he, him. But I'm not sure if I've ever actually discussed that with you. They, them. Okay.
Didn't we discuss that? Because I said they were Jessica Rabbit.
Okay, that doesn't mean I remember having that conversation. Don't feel bad if I forget. I forget with my own children, and you're not one of them. It's like, love you, Fennec. Love my kids more. Sorry.
I think we should just get to a point just calling everybody they.
Yeah, Fennec is also says, I am deeply pronoun ambivalent. So being called he, him amuses me greatly.
Like, even with yours, that is he, him. Some days I just call them they because I just can't, and not that they is incorrect, but I just can't, like, decipher
Yeah.
the pronouns. So I'm just like, they all day.
Yeah, like, I know that, like, the people that are anti, like, the transphobes, they will often complain about how, like, oh, the singular they doesn't make grammatical sense. It's like, no, it does make grammatical sense. But yes, it is a new thing to use it exclusively for specific people. And that is a little bit difficult to adjust to. It's not impossible. And if you put in the effort, and the people that are in your life see you putting in the effort, and you have conversations with them explicitly saying, like, hey, I support you, I'm there for you 100%, and if I make a mistake, you're not going to get in trouble for correcting me, I'm not going to get mad at you. But at the same time, I recognize that it's on me to remember, it's not on you to do that all the time.
Switch to they.
And, like, yeah, no, so like, it's possible to do it, and you don't get canceled for using the wrong one if you make a mistake every now and then. But, like, yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
No.
But it's not difficult enough to put up a stink
Especially
about
because how we're socialized, and like you said, they were your children. They were your children from birth.
Yeah.
Sorry. Damn it. Like, visually, you still see them as what they were assigned at birth. So making that transition in your brain is a lot harder when you've, like you said, when you've always known them as one gender over the other.
Rory in particular, with the style, like with their clothing choices, see there, I've gone and done it right here, with their clothing choices, it is much easier to see it as not female, because they have gone for much less feminine clothing recently than they have in the past. And I know, like, there are people that will say, like, oh, I look at pictures of my trans kid when they were younger before they came out, and if they're trans man, they'd be like, yeah, no, that's my son. I will admit that, like, when I see pictures of Rory when they're younger, I still think that's my little girl Lily. That's the first thought that enters my brain.
Yeah. Well, technically,
but that's also because, like, Rory's a different person from Lily.
That's how I see it.
So, like, young Lily loved the big, poofy, frilly dresses. Rory does not.
So, like,
it's not that. Like, I'm sure eventually it will just catch up in my brain.
Yeah, it will. I mean, practice and time. But that's what I mean. That's what makes it harder, because the visual is still a visual representation of their gender as assigned at birth.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying to tell your brain two things at one time, because this is something, like you said, that's new. The they them pronouns and whatnot.
Oh, you've got your painting up. That's going to get me demonetized. Yeah, but then also I think I also think of like one of the transphobic things that the transphobic parents will do is like, oh, I miss my little girl when they come out as a trans man or as non-binary or whatever. I miss my little girl. It's like, no. Because if they had not gone non-binary and ended up where they are now, they still would not be the same person that they were when they were 4. And like, yeah, I loved them when they were 4. I love them now. Do I sometimes look back at those things and be like, oh, I kind of miss that? Yes. But seeing them grow into an adult, a real human being, and like seeing the growth and development and being there with them on the journey, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And like whoever they grow into, like it's great. It's a great process to be on. Mm-hmm. And so like, yeah, 4-year-old Lily was very cute. And sometimes I get nostalgic for that. But like, I'm not like, oh, I wish she was still Lily because I miss my Lily. Like, no. They're growing. Yeah. They're becoming their own person.
See, that's why everyone should just be like me.
In what way?
No, like, I mean, when Sky's pictures come up of her when she was younger, I'm like, aw, so cute. I don't necessarily say I miss her, or miss them, but because for her, the gender exploration is happening earlier than most.
Yeah.
This is just who she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have nothing to look back on to say this was a different person than this. Like this
and she's always trended more towards the female stuff. Like,
but like
she was showing me pictures of her birthday from the year before I met them, and so
Unicorn
little bit of
Rainbow
history.
Sparkles.
Her youngest is probably a trans girl.
She's gender I'm labeling her as gender diverse right now. She's still fairly young, and there's lots of exploring to do. Yeah,
absolutely. But so when she was 4, she just flat out came out and told us, I'm a girl. And like, and contrary to popular belief, like we didn't immediately jump on that and be like, okay, yes, absolutely, you are a girl. Because like I remember the conversation where this was before she said I'm a girl, but she obviously like she liked dresses and purses and things like that. Yeah, she was already
dressing in dresses.
And she had a rough day with. She had a rough couple days with her dad, who is very much like, no, you're a boy, you must wear boy clothes. And so when she came back, she was not in a good mood, and we kind of did like a little shopping trip to make her feel better. That like, yeah, no, you can get a dress if you want. You can get a dress and a purse, and you know, like. Obviously, shopping trip is not how you treat having a bad day. But in that case, like in that specific scenario, that was what was needed at the time. But like on the car on the way back home, she was just like out of nowhere. It was like, I wish I had a vagina. Mm-hmm. And that was the first, like before that, it's just like, it's a little boy who likes to wear dresses. I'm not going to fight with that. Like, who cares? It's a dress. Let the boy wear a dress. But like, that was the first clue that was like, okay, there's more going on here, because like, there's actually a desire to not be a boy. Mm-hmm. And even then, we still like, we push back on it a little. We're like, okay, why do you want that instead of a penis? Why is that important? Mm-hmm. Do you like, how do you feel about it? Like, do you still feel like a boy? Like, it's okay to be a boy and to like to wear dresses, but it's also okay to be a girl. Like, we did not push her into it. We actually like, we didn't try to push her out of it, but like, we did kind of be like, okay, no, if you Like, it's okay to be a boy and
we
like this
just
stuff.
tried to make sure our understanding and her understanding were the same.
Yeah. And, and because she is so young, it is, like, it was a bit of a concern that, like, if we try to push her into it, she might fall. Like, no, she's actually way too clever for that. She would never.
Yeah.
So Donald Jaramillo says, it matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Ooh, that's an excellent quote that I don't know if she would agree with anymore. But yeah, even to this day, like, if she comes out and is like, no, I'm a boy now, we're going to be, okay, that's great. You can be who you want to be.
Yeah.
But like
everybody has both in her closet and her drawers, and she picks what she wants to wear. And I intentionally started doing that because I didn't want it to be something that I was doing to her, like picking out dresses, because one day, once or twice, she said she was a girl. It's like, no, this is your stuff. You get dressed. You pick your clothes. And every time she's here, her clothes are always on more of the feminine side than the masculine.
But anyway, what I was getting at with that is that, like, she has shown this pattern since well before I even met you.
Yes.
And your ex seems to be under the impression that I'm the one that has put all the pressure on them to become a girl.
Well, not that you're the only one, but yes, that you have had a hand in convincing my child that they are not who they think they are.
Yeah, but then there was, like, a birthday party from the year before you met me, where it was like unicorn and rainbow themed, and everything was pink and frilly.
Yep.
And it's like there were 3 then. It's like, no, that's just...
It's actually quite interesting because when my oldest was younger, he was actually more into, like, Barbies and the more feminine clothing items, and even some of the some of the shows maybe, than my youngest. It wasn't until recently that, like, the flip happened, where he's, like, completely gone in. He 100% identifies as a boy, loves to dress like a boy. Once in a while he'll wear a dress, but it's mostly like he likes his button-up shirts and stuff like that. But when they were younger, I would have thought it would have been flipped.
Yeah, he did seem to be more...
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that. And I also, like, now, like, there's no doubt in my mind that he is a cis boy.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's just a boy, and he likes the boy stuff. And, like, yeah, he still has dress-up days or whatever.
Yeah.
And he still likes nail polish and makeup occasionally, but, like, he likes to be snazzy.
Yes, he likes to be snazzy.
Anyway, we're here to watch this football player talk about...
Yeah, but my kids are so much more adorable.
They are. They're great.
And unpleasant things. But if we are going to be men and women for this time in history, we need to stop pretending that the Church of Nice is a winning proposition.
The Church of Nice. Is nice what you think of when you think of the Catholic Church?
No.
I think of kid raping.
Yeah. I just don't think of nice across the board.
Oh, we were talking today about how much gay sex goes on in the in Catholic seminary.
Okay.
Which
so I am going to ask the audience because I need to know. I have been searching all day.
Do I need to do a poll?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Rhino read me an article earlier today that implied that there are things that go on in seminary school that cause priest PTSD.
PTSD.
I would like to know what kind of hazing.
It was just an asshole being dismissive of the existence of PTSD.
I would like to know what kind of hazing happens in seminary school that causes these priests PTSD. Does anybody know? Okay, continue.
Yeah, no, because this guy made a crack about how this priest might have needed a therapy animal because of his PTSD, which is post-seminary traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, whatever. No, there was other things he said that implied.
I don't know.
We must always speak and act in charity, but never mistake charity for cowardice.
Yeah, people who say that are just assholes in general. Like, don't mistake my niceness for being a pushover or whatever. Like, nah. Oh, there we go. Donald Jaramillo says, Snazzy, be prepared for Alistair cosplay.
Ooh.
I'm here for that. Oh, Halloween? Dressing Logan up as Alistair?
Maybe not this year.
Maybe not this year. He'd make an awesome Alistair.
Yeah.
It is safe to say that over the past few years, I've gained quite the reputation for speaking my mind.
What reputation? I have no idea who the fuck he is.
I mean, he's not a public speaker, but somehow he speaks his mind in public settings where it's important enough to
And
say.
he's got a reputation for that.
Yeah.
But he stays in his lane
And he stays in his lane. Yep.
of kicking the ball.
And industrial engineering. Yep.
Yeah.
I never envisioned myself nor wanted to have this sort of a platform, but
Okay, then go away.
God has given it to me, so I have no other choice.
Hold on.
No, President Minas give it to you.
First of all, how do you not envision yourself with that kind of platform when you are a football player?
Yeah, like you have press conferences after every game pretty much.
Like, it pretty much comes with the territory. You expect it. Unless you know you're not that good, then you're not going to get it.
Unless you know you're a kicker.
But, you know, like...
And Jassa says, because he's the kicker.
But to embrace it and preach more hard truths about accepting your lane and staying in it.
There you go. Stay in your lane, buddy.
Yeah.
Kick the ball.
This is not your lane.
Just kick the
None
ball.
of this is your lane.
They covered this on Dear Old Dads on a patron-only I think it was a patron-only episode. And they did the thing that we're doing now is play the whole thing and kind of react to it. And one of the things that Eli said was like, it would have been the best commencement address ever if he just got up there and been like, this isn't what I do. And then he just kicked the football and went away. It's like, yeah, best commencement speech ever.
As members of the church founded by Jesus Christ, it is our duty and ultimately privilege to be authentically and unapologetically Catholic. Don't be mistaken, even within the church, people in polite Catholic circles will try to persuade you to remain silent.
I mean, given how much kid fucking goes on in the Catholic Church, remaining silent is probably for the best if you're a Catholic.
Yeah,
Like, they don't need to have a say in our overall culture
No.
when they have issues like that going on inside.
Even was an award-winning film called Silence, made by a fellow Catholic, wherein one of the main characters...
You know what? No, I'm with him on this. Speak up, Catholic. Speak up.
Because then people will hate them?
No, because then the truth will eventually come out when they all start speaking up.
Yeah, but if they all lie...
I never said to lie. I said speak up.
Yeah, but he's lying.
Priest abandoned the church, and as an apostate, when he died is seen grasping a crucifix, quiet and unknown to anyone but God. As a friend of Benedictine College, His Excellency Bishop Robert Barron said in his review of the film, it was exactly what the cultural elite want to see in Christianity.
Yeah, I would love to see Christianity be just people keeping it to themselves.
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
that's your business, not my business.
Lord of Ozkalak says, Jesus didn't found the Catholic Church, though. No, he didn't, but the Catholics will disagree with that.
Private, hidden away, and harmless.
Yes, be private, be hidden away, and be harmless. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you don't have to be hidden away in the sense that, like, you can't tell anyone that you're Catholic. Fine,
But
tell
just
people
don't
that you're
try and
Catholic.
convince everybody you talk to become Catholic.
Yeah, or try to pass laws based on Catholic religion stuff instead
Yeah.
of just...
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
And yes, be
Our
harmless.
Catholic faith has always been countercultural. Our Lord, along with countless followers...
Was it countercultural when the Catholic Church basically ran all of Europe? When
No,
like
that
being
would be
not
the-
Catholic would get you executed? Was it countercultural? No. Like, I don't think so.
No.
So listening to this, is Ben Shapiro always playing at 1.5 speed? Does he sound like Ben Shapiro when we got him at 1.5? Oh, Catholic Church ran orphanages because it made it easy to keep quiet about who the priest had impregnated and how many of the nuns became pregnant. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But then also there's, like, Ireland had this massive problem with Catholic orphanages and mass graves of children being found on them.
Yes. That is
Like,
true.
yeah, when they're not fucking the kids, they're killing them. So, yeah. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe having a complete disregard for the welfare of children should be countercultural. Like,
I agree.
It would be great if the culture would just be like, kids should be protected and nurtured and loved.
Agreed.
Okay. So yeah, Catholicism is countercultural then.
were all put to death for their adherence to her teachings.
Oh yeah, that's right. A bunch of people lost their lives because they were Catholic. The Catholics have been so persecuted over the years. The Crusades, where they killed a bunch of Muslims to fight over who got to control Jerusalem. Yeah, that was persecution of the Catholics. Yeah, like, okay.
I like
A lot of Christians got executed in the early Roman Empire, but like after the year 312, they were the ones in charge. They weren't persecuted at that point.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what history him and I learned because it seemed to be different there.
Quite different, yeah. They're revisionists.
The world around us says that we should keep our beliefs to ourselves whenever they go against the tyranny of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah, if your belief is that people should be oppressed, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Let people not be oppressed.
100 like the sad thing is that somebody wrote this for him.
You don't think he wrote it himself?
No, he didn't.
That's a take I haven't heard on this before, but I'm not sure I disagree.
Well, most celebrities don't write their own speeches.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
They would tell you, like, generally what they want in there, but they don't write their own speeches.
Yeah.
We fear speaking truth because now, unfortunately, truth is in the minority. Congress just passed a
Truth is in the minority. I mean, go to research.vicerhino.com and see how wrong he is about trans people. Because that's like just a whole fucking massive list of studies explaining that, like, trans people exist, gender-affirming care is the best treatment for them.
I'm just so confused as how he could stand up there and say that, like, inclusion is bad.
Yeah, it's bad to hire black people.
Like, I don't get it.
Well, didn't you know black people are just inherently less talented than white people? So if you hire black people, you'll have a worse company. Despite the fact that when it's actually been examined scientifically, there have been studies done on this, companies that have better diversity, equity, and inclusion policies make more money. Imagine
it's
that.
not even that.
You make
Like,
more money when you appeal to a wider audience and you have a more diverse group of
I
people.
don't even know what he's specifically talking about because inclusion is so many things. But
He's talking about gay and black people
yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like,
and trans people.
yeah. So there's more things you keep adding on something else.
Yeah, I know.
It's just kind of like a
Doraemon
blanket.
10 says, wait for the next line. I know what the next line is. She doesn't, so... I'm actually going to go back a little bit because we stopped mid-sentence.
Now, unfortunately, truth is in the minority. Congress just passed a bill restating something as basic as the biblical teaching of who killed Jesus could land you in jail.
Who do you think killed Jesus? Who killed Jesus, Butker? He wants to say the Jews.
And they're not allowed to say that anymore?
Okay, well, the bill he's talking about has basically been guidance for universities that receive federal funding to say, like, hey, here's some anti-Semitic tropes that you might not want to allow on your campus. Which is fine. But he's all like, no, we got to be able to say the Jews murdered Jesus.
But I have a question. Are they just not allowed to say it?
No,
or-
they're allowed to say it still. He's allowed to say it. It's just anti-Semitic. And because, like, okay, first off, even if you believe the story, the Romans did it.
Well, I was just about to say, why can't you just, like...
Like, if you believe the story, the Romans did it. Yeah, sure, the Sanhedrin handed him over to the Romans, but the Romans are the ones that did it.
I was actually just going to say God, but okay.
Yep, it was part of God's plan. I don't know why they get mad about people killing Jesus. Like, doesn't your whole thing rely on Jesus having died?
True.
Isn't that a good thing in your eyes?
Yeah.
But, like, no. They
Like
like
God.
But no, the Catholic Church has a history of persecuting Jews because they're the ones that murdered Jesus. Like, and when I say persecuting, I don't mean persecuting in the modern Christian in America thinks they're persecuted because they're not allowed to, like, a nurse in a hospice situation can't proselytize to people as they're dying, and that's persecution. I'm talking, they actually murdered people for being Jewish. And like
Catholics don't have a good history.
Yeah, I mean, they did. Now, the Catholic Church officially came out in the 60s and was like, yeah, no, that whole blood libel thing that we accuse Jews of, maybe let's not do that anymore. So, like, they officially did say that, like, modern Jews, stop blaming them for the death of Jesus. It wasn't modern Jews. They didn't do it. Which, like, I guess, like, better late than never, I guess. Thanks for catching up. But, like, he wants to go back to before that, where it's like, no, we get to say that the Jews of today are to blame for Jesus' death, which is somehow a bad thing, despite Jesus' death being the best thing ever to them. I even when I was a Christian, I never fucking got the whole, like, let's get mad over these people who are responsible for Jesus' death thing. Like why would we get mad at Judas? He's the one that fulfilled God's plan for salvation. Also, Jesus was Jewish. Let's not skip over that.
I feel like it was pretty shitty of God. Like, I'm going to put Judas in a situation where I know he's going to fail and be the asshole and go to hell and burn forever and ever, just so I can prove a point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. That's just... I don't understand that line of anti-Semitism. Like, why are you mad that they made God's plan happen? Do you not think that God's plan was the best plan?
No. My plan's better than that.
Like, that's the only explanation. If you think... Like, the only reason you would get mad at someone fulfilling God's plan is if you don't think God's plan is the best plan.
Like, in other cultures, wouldn't... I'm generalizing, but in other cultures, wouldn't they actually, like... elevate Judas because he fulfilled the plan?
I would think so. That's what I always thought when I was a Christian. Like there's a Bible verse about how it would be worse.
Judas.
There's a Bible verse about how it would be worse for Judas than if he had never been born. And I never got that. I always had questions about that. Like, why would we not be happy that Judas did what he did? Because, like, without Judas, the salvation thing wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Hooray for
yeah,
Judas!
Neurompithus says there is a Gospel of Judas. Yeah, but it's apocryphal. They don't accept that one.
It's okay. I'm gonna big up Judas.
Yeah.
Judas
was the good guy of the story.
But make no mistake, before we even attempt to fix any of the issues plaguing society, we must first get our own house in order, and it starts with our leaders.
No.
It starts with stop fucking kids.
Well, it also starts with your own home. Go deal with your own shit in your own home.
He gets there.
The bishops and priests appointed by God as our spiritual fathers must be rightly ordered. There's not enough time today for me to list all the stories of priests and bishops misleading their flocks, but none of us can blame ignorance anymore and just blindly proclaim that that's what Father said.
Okay. So remember that he's complaining right now about people who he believes are appointed by God to the positions that they hold.
So
he's complaining about them not knowing what they're doing.
What do you say?
Priests and bishops.
Priests and bishops. Don't listen to them. Got it.
Yeah, remember that he's basically saying that.
Because sadly, many priests we are looking to for leadership are the same ones who prioritize their hobbies or even photos with their dogs and matching outfits for the parish directory.
That's the one I was trying to find the pictures of when I found that article. Because that was the thing, apparently, that was like 3 years ago. The Catholic League like wrote this big scathing thing about some priest that took a picture with his service dog in matching outfits and put it in the church directory. And that was a big scandal, apparently. Like, yeah, we're raping a bunch of kids, but heaven forbid you take a picture in matching sweaters with your dog. And I tried to find a picture of it because that would be fucking adorable.
They're just supposed to be reading the Bible and writing sermons. Like, they're not supposed to have a life outside the church at all.
No. And yeah, so the article that I found was like some priest like, I'm not even sure how true the story was because as you pointed out to me, there's just some things about it that don't add up. So like this priest apparently heard his dog barking outside the church in the middle of mass and asked the people at the back of the church to let the dog in. And then the dog just like came up and laid down by the altar for the rest of the service. And everybody loved it. And it was a golden retriever, and it was a good little boy, and it was the best boy, and everybody loved the dog. And then they were all like, does anyone else agree with me that this was super disrespectful? I was like, yeah, no, it's just a fucking dog, and dogs are great, and like mass is boring, so a dog can only make it better. Especially like a golden retriever being the best boy. Like, yeah.
There's dog hair. I don't like dog hair. That's why I got puddles.
Because she's hypoallergenic.
I
Yeah.
know, and she doesn't shed. And it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, but like it was hilarious. But so I couldn't find the picture of the priest with the dog because I wanted to show that picture because that would be fucking adorable.
That'd be hilarious if I Google it right now and I can find it.
That would be hilarious, but you'll just find pictures of dogs in priest costumes, not the priest with his dog. Fennec says y'all should do family matching outfits, including Puddles. You think she hasn't tried to get us to do that already?
I know, Puddles and I had a matching Halloween costume.
Psst.
Yes.
Can you get me another beer?
Oh.
I mean, I can get it, but then I have to, like, walk past you and shit.
Oh.
Love you.
I don't know that you do.
I do. You're the best. Dude, it would be so cute. Actually, I'm pretty sure Rory got matching sweaters for Heidi and Puddles. The sweater was too small, though, I think.
See what you did? I took out my earbuds and now I have itchy ear.
I'm sorry. I need alcohol to get through Harrison Butker.
I have itchy ear syndrome.
It's easy for us laymen and women to think that in order for us to be holy, that we must be active in our parish and try to fix it. Yes, we absolutely should be involved in supporting our parishes, but we cannot be the source for our parish priests to lean on to help with their problems.
So, fix your parish priest, but don't be the person that the parish priest leans on to fix his problems.
Yeah, just let him suffer in silence, sure.
Just as we look at the relationship between a father and his son, so too should we look at the relationship between a priest and his people. It would not be
But,
appropriate for me.
okay, first of all, as you get older and you mature, your relationship with your father changes in that you both confide in each other versus a parent-child situation where you're not confiding in your child because they're children. They only have limited capacity and
so
understanding.
My dad and I had a very long and in-depth conversation about how both of our partners eat carrots too loudly. Because we both have misophonia. And his wife, my stepmother, eats carrots very loudly. And you don't really eat carrots that often. But like,
Well, I will
there's
now.
other things. Donald Jaramillo says, asking her for a beer while watching Butker. Yeah, no, I need alcohol to get through him. And we haven't even gotten to the stuff that's going to make her grateful that she's high when we get here.
Spain has pet blessings.
Do they?
Yes.
Okay.
To always be looking to my son for help when it is my job as his father to lead him.
Okay, but what about
Okay.
when your dad gets old? Like,
Okay, no, I'm still on the priest and the puppy.
oh, are you?
Yeah.
Did you find it?
No, but in Spain they have pet blessings where the priest goes around and blesses the pets.
Yeah, they probably see that as sacrilegious.
From Spain?
Pets don't have souls.
First of all, Spain's Catholicism has been around a lot longer than North American Catholicism.
Yeah.
So if they can bless the pets, the priest can have his puppy in the church.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with the priest having a puppy in the church. But like he's saying, the father doesn't go to the kids for support
Yeah.
and whatever. But it's like, no, when they get old enough, they do. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if my dad needs help when he gets old and infirm, I'll help my dad.
That was literally what I was saying when you interrupted me with your story.
You were talking about priests and dogs.
No, before that,
Okay.
I was saying that as you get older, your relationship changes with your parents so that it's like a mutual relationship where you can both confide in each other.
Yeah, I just took it to the next step. Where when you get old, you kind of lose some of your faculties.
St. Jose Maria Escriva states that priests are ordained to serve and should not yield to temptation to imitate lay people, but to be priests through and through.
What? Hold on.
It's a temptation to imitate lay people.
At St. Louis Parish, a dog watches over communion.
They have a dog for communion?
No, he's just sitting up at the top with the
That's
priest.
pretty awesome. It's, what is that, a lab? Black lab?
Yeah, look so.
Black labs are also great. All dogs are the best boy. This is boy B-O-I,
Like,
so it's a gender-neutral
so
boy.
This is not an uncommon thing, my love.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Dogs are great. Everybody loves a dog.
Oh, wait. It's on YouTube. Oh. No, never mind.
Tragically, so many priests revolve much of their happiness from the adulation they receive from their parishioners.
Remember, he's telling people to stay in their lanes, and now he's correcting the priests who we think are ordained by God.
His industrial engineering degree gives him that that ability to do that, okay?
Become overly familiar.
Rainey says, I peed in the holy water at birth, so the priest said I was going to be an atheist. I turned out atheist, so yeah. So fun fact about holy water, they have those in those little urns at the front of the church. There have been multiple instances of those things being tested. They always come back just like chock full of fecal matter.
Sorry, say that again.
The holy water
Ugh.
that priests like dip babies in and rub on your forehead and shit, always test positive for fecal matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, this black lab attends every church that this priest goes
Steele
to.
says to hat or not to hat. Did I miss a hat?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay, there it is. There it is. Octopus hat. Yeah. Yeah. Octo hat.
This undue familiarity will prove to be problematic every time because, as my teammate's girlfriend says, familiarity breeds contempt.
As my teammate's girlfriend says. That's Taylor Swift. But familiarity breeds contempt. Like, you really need Taylor Swift to quote that? That's just a thing that people say.
I'm just...
Is that it?
No, but... There is a priest with his doggy in a priest costume.
That's amazing. Send the picture to me. I'll add it to the stream.
I think he missed that one.
Yeah, that's not the one that he's talking about.
No, I know.
But it's still amazing. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm competing with Paul for a live stream right now.
Paul!
That's why my views are down. I mean, like, it's his birthday and he's raising money for charity, so like, I can't really complain.
Happy birthday to you. This is your day. That's all I got.
Okay, someone clip that so we can send it to Paul for his birthday. Jasta says, if I was Kelsey, I'd be like, dude, don't associate with me. You're just the kicker, man. Stay in your lane.
That's right.
Okay. Image. Image 2. Browse. Priest dog. Priest dog. Look at that. That's adorable. Who's the best boy? Who's the best boy? That's the best boy. Best boy is actually a legitimate job title in movies.
Aw, that's so cute.
St. Jose Maria continues that some want to see the priest as just another man. That is not so. They want to find in the priest those virtues proper to every Christian, and indeed every honorable man. Understanding, justice, a life of work, priestly work in this instance.
Hey, justice, though, like, didn't he just complain about DEI? It's like part of DEI is justice. Like they added the justice. Yeah, no, they rearranged it so when they include justice, it's justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So it spells Jedi.
Huh. I like it.
And I love it.
Good manners. It is not prudent as a lady for us to consume ourselves in becoming amateur theologians so that we can decipher this or that theological teaching.
So it's not prudent to become an amateur theologian so you can, like, complain about the priests, he says in his speech where he's being an amateur theologian complaining about the priests, where he also told people to stay in their lane.
Wow. Like,
so
this is university, right?
Yeah.
So potentially some of those women are graduating as, like, with a theology degree.
Oh, he makes a joke about that in a sec. But would you believe it if I told you we haven't even gotten to what the news has been covering about this yet?
Oh my god.
Unless, of course, you are a theology major.
Yeah, see?
Then
We
it's
must be intentional with our
okay.
focus on our state in life and our own vocation. And for most of us, that's as married men and women. Still, we have so many great resources at our fingertips that it doesn't take long to find traditional and timeless teachings that haven't been ambiguously reworded for our times. Plus, there are still many good and holy priests, and it's up to us to seek them out.
So you're not supposed to be into theology super deep. You're supposed to trust the priest for that.
I mean, unless you go to school for it, then it's okay.
Yeah. But you're supposed to trust the priest for your theology. But you're supposed to be into theology deep enough that you can find the priest that is actually good with theology. But also stay in your fucking lane.
Yeah, I mean, industrial engineering. I mean, that just says it all.
And
like he
ball
can,
kicking.
Yeah, and ball kicking.
He can
like,
kick a ball.
He can definitely tell us all about this.
The chaos of the world is unfortunately reflected in the chaos in our parishes, and sadly, in our cathedrals too.
You know, the cathedrals that they built with the Nazi gold. Actually, have they built any cathedrals since World War II? Or were they all built with peasant slave labor in the Middle Ages?
I don't know.
It's like, which is ethically worse, building a cathedral with peasant slave labor or with Nazi gold?
But was Nazi gold ever really Nazis?
No, it was Jewish gold.
Exactly. Oh, but then
That the Catholic Church then stole from the Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
not
just
a
bad no
good
matter.
history. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Catholic Church bad.
Come on.
As we saw during the pandemic, too many bishops were not leaders at all. They were motivated by fear of being sued, fear of being removed, fear of being disliked.
So you remember all the lawsuits that happened during COVID where churches sued to be able to stay open and they won because the Supreme Court is a bunch of conservative nutbags?
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, no, your sincerely held religious belief overrides health and safety.
Of course.
But
it
like,
does.
no, the Catholic bishops were afraid to stay open because they didn't want to be sued.
They showed by their actions, intentional or unintentional, that the sacraments don't actually matter.
The sacraments don't actually matter. I hate to break to you, buddy, but like, it's a cracker and some juice. No, it's actually wine in the Catholic Church. In my church, it was juice.
Yeah. Mine too.
I know
Although
there's more
also-
sacrament, like talking to confessing your sins to a priest is a sacrament. So like, you have to go and talk to some dude who is, in theory, still a virgin and tell him all the sordid details about our sex life because that's a sin.
Why do they need details? Why can't I just say I slept with a man outside of marriage multiple times,
Yeah,
a lot,
yeah,
regularly?
But like, penis and vagina is a sin. Penis and butthole is a sin. Penis and mouth is a sin.
Okay, but doesn't
Mouth
that,
on vagina is a sin.
doesn't it just
Fingers on
cover
clit is
it
a
all?
sin. Hand on penis is a sin. It's all a sin.
Yeah, so I had sexual relations with a man outside of marriage. Covers all of that.
Yeah, well, that depends on what the definition of is.
What do you mean is?
That's a Bill Clinton reference.
Oh.
Because like that whole case hinged on whether or not oral sex technically counted as sex.
Yeah.
Because of this, countless people died alone without access to the sacraments, and it's a tragedy we must never forget.
Yeah, the tragedy of COVID is that people died without their Jesus cracker.
But it's
Not that people
it's not a
died.
unique event.
Not
though.
that people died in the first place. It's that
No,
they died
but
without their
see,
Jesus cracker.
That's not a unique event, so we don't have to worry about those things.
Like, God cannot make exceptions for there being a deadly disease running rampant.
No.
You must do the sacraments, otherwise you go to fucking hell or whatever.
Interestingly enough, when I went on my rampage earlier trying to find like what kind of hazing they have in seminary school, I came across another article where they were like, not taking sacrament on Sunday is whatever. I don't remember what you just said. But anyways.
I don't have water. Thanks for the hydrate, but I'll just drink a beer.
This was directly in reference to them talking about PTSD. So even if you have PTSD and you have to still make it to church. Even if you're going to be triggered, you have to still make it to church.
Fennec says beer is not hydrating. It's mostly water. Yeah, no. Even if it's going to be detrimental to your mental health, you still have to go to church. Yeah, no. It's stupid.
Oh, it's a mortal sin. That's what they said.
Like the way they behave only makes sense if their god doesn't actually exist. Because if their god actually existed, he would be reasonable enough to know that, like, hey, if you gather together in tight-knit groups during a pandemic, a bunch of you are going to get sick and die, and it's not going to be good for you or your families.
But maybe that's God's plan. Maybe we should have let them.
It's stupid. Well, the fucking Bible says to obey the government. So when the government says shut down, the Bible says you shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
As Catholics, we can look to so many examples of heroic shepherds who gave their lives for their people, and ultimately, the church. We cannot buy into the lie that the things we experienced during COVID were appropriate. Over the centuries, there have been great wars, great famines, and yes, even great diseases, all that came with a level of lethality and danger. But in each of those examples, church leaders leaned into their vocations and ensured that their people received the sacraments.
So having old men go between a bunch of other old people to put things directly into their mouths and have them all share a cup that will spread a bunch of germs and get a bunch of them killed is more important than just, like, being healthy. And yes, I know there are more sacraments than just communion, but communion is the most obviously ridiculous because it's ritualistic cannibalism. Like, yeah, you laugh, but that's what it literally is. I will eat the flesh and blood of my God.
I know.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I've been saying it for a while now. It's just witchcraft.
It is.
Witchcraft.
It is witchcraft.
Great
I'm
saints
not
like St.
against
Damien of
that
Malachi, who
at
knew the
all.
dangers of his ministry, stayed for 11 years as a spiritual leader to the leper colonies of Hawaii.
Yeah, so brave to be a spiritual leader to the leper colonies. Never mind the medical people that actually, like, made leprosy a disease that is treatable and capable to, like, live a relatively normal life with it. The guy who gave you the Jesus cracker is a real important person in that story.
His heroism is looked at today as something set apart and unique, when ideally, it should not be unique at all. For as a father loves his child, so a shepherd should love his spiritual children too. That goes even more so.
Yeah, and remember, this guy who is telling priests how they ought to behave started this speech by saying, stay in your lane.
Yes, I keep telling you, industrial engineering gives him all the credibility right here.
Yeah.
On how to be a priest.
Kicking balls is the greatest vocation when it comes to priesthood.
Yep.
Kicking balls is a sacrament.
I feel like they do a lot of that, though. Okay, continue.
That's what seminary's for. They kick all the balls in seminary.
Anybody know?
These men who are present-day apostles. Our bishops once had adoring crowds of people kissing their rings and taking in their every word, but now...
That was a bad thing.
Like, why do I want to kiss somebody's ring?
I always thought that was weird. Like, kiss the ring. Like, why? Why are you kissing the ring? Even if it's someone you respect, why would I kiss your fucking ring?
Witchcraft.
I remember, like, it might be because my first exposure to the idea of kissing the ring came in the form of Disney's Robin Hood, where he kisses the ring and then, like, has all the jewels in it. And that was great. But, like, because my first exposure was as a joke, then when I saw it in a real thing, it was like, oh, people, like, really expected you to kiss the rings?
Yeah.
That's weird.
relegate themselves to a position of inconsequential existence.
Good. Steel Jewel says one ring to rule them all.
Yes.
Yeah, no, bishops should be inconsequential and off to the sidelines. Like,
On the bench.
we shouldn't kiss their rings. Kissing the rings is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Now, when a bishop of a diocese or the bishop's conference as a whole puts out an important document on this matter or that, nobody even takes a moment to read it, let alone follow it.
Good. Someone who is statistically
Hold on.
Someone who is statistically either a child rapist or knows someone who is a child rapist and is covering up for them, if they put out a document that they consider to be important for everybody to read and live by, I say it's good that people don't read it and live by it.
But isn't his current pope like...
Yeah, the guy who has the most direct line to God is the most liberal pope that has ever existed. Which, to be clear, Pope Francis is still a piece of shit who is bigoted as all fuck. But, like, he had the audacity to say that gay people don't automatically go to hell. So that makes him the most liberal pope ever.
That's part of inclusion, by the way.
Well, he's also very anti-trans, and...
Well, no, I'm not talking about that, but, like...
he still says gay people shouldn't get married, and...
I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit. I'm talking this whatever person in front of me. It's like you have to live by the doctrine. So the
Chad?
Chad, yeah, Chad. So the Pope put out saying, hey, gay people are people. Live by that, please.
Yeah.
No. Today, our shepherds are far more concerned with keeping the doors open to the chancery than they are with saying the difficult stuff out loud.
I don't know what the chancery is.
I don't know what the difficult stuff is.
I'm assuming chancery is them getting money, because that's what they seem to be most obsessed with.
I don't know.
It seems that the only time you hear from your bishops is when it's time for the annual appeal, whereas we need our bishops to be vocal about the teachings of the church, setting aside their own personal comfort and embracing their cross. Our bishops are not politicians, but shepherds. So instead of fitting in the world by going along to get along,
I don't think
they
Okay,
choose-
hold on. First of all, your bishops are not politicians, they're shepherds. So they are only to be guiding their little flock, not the whole world.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's also a whole thing in the Bible where, like, there's a whole story in the Bible where Jesus pays his taxes.
No, but I mean, he's liking a priest to a shepherd.
Yeah, but, like,
But
he's also saying they're
stating-
not politicians.
Yeah.
But, like, politically speaking, the church is tax-free. But, like, the example that
Right,
Jesus set was he pays his
I'm not
taxes.
talking about
Okay.
that.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is the priests are shepherds. Shepherds only herd their own sheep.
Okay.
They don't go off and try and tell other shepherds how to herd their sheep. They just deal with their own flock. Right? Mm-hmm. Fucking interrupt me and I don't remember where I was going with that.
I don't know.
So yes, they should not speak up and be vocal and be all these. No, they just talk to their own people. Keep it in the church.
Okay.
to stay in their
That's
lane
where I was
and
going.
lead.
Stay in their lane.
Yes.
Much like he's not.
Yes, exactly.
I say all of this not from a place of anger, as we get the leaders we deserve. But this does make me reflect.
We get the leaders we deserve.
And he's not angry about that.
So do better. If you want better, do better.
Well,
If
I mean,
that's-
So that's the thing, though, is like he says we get the leaders we deserve, but he thinks Joe Biden's a worse leader than Trump. And so
That's what I'm saying. So if he wants a better leader, he better do better.
Yeah, but in his mind, doing better would get them Trump.
Ugh.
But like Trump is just objectively bad.
Yeah, no. I
Like,
just
yeah,
meant
Joe Biden's not great.
be a better person, you get a better politician. According to his logic.
I don't know.
On staying in my lane and focusing on my own vocation and how I can be a better father and husband and live in the world,
And kick the ball good.
but not be of it. Focusing on my vocation while praying and fasting for these men will do more for the church than me complaining about her leaders.
He says in his speech complaining about his leaders.
And staying in his lane.
Yeah.
Because there seems to be so much confusion coming from our leaders, there needs to be concrete examples for people to look to, and places like Benedictine, a little Kansas college built high on a bluff above the Missouri River, are showing the world how an ordered, Christ-centered existence is the recipe for success.
Yeah, Benedictine College, the college that I had to ask people in the chat, like, what state is it in again? And then the people in the chat were like, I don't know, let me look it up. It's super successful.
You need to look no further than the examples all around this campus, where over the past 20 years, enrollment has doubled. Construction and revitalization are a constant part of life, and people, the students, the faculty, and staff, are thriving. This didn't happen by chance. In a deliberate movement to embrace traditional Catholic values, Benedictine has gone from just another liberal arts school with nothing to set it apart to a thriving beacon of light and a reminder to us all that when you embrace tradition, success, worldly and spiritual, will follow.
So, fun fact, the leaders of Benedictine College have basically come out and been like, yeah, no, we don't really agree with his speech. Because he's going to get to a news article that was written about Benedictine College, where, like, Associated Press wrote a news article that was basically like, all these Catholic schools are, like, becoming more modern and more accepting and more diverse and equitable and inclusive. But Benedictine College is, like, stuck in the Middle Ages. We don't know what's up with them. They kind of suck. And Benedictine was all like, "Yeah, woo, we suck. Yeah, we're where all the people, we're where all the bigots want to go." And then because that got all the press, that's what raised the enrollment or whatever. But they have recognized that that's not a good long-term solution. So like they are trying to become the colleges or whatever that he's speaking out against. But we haven't gotten a part of the speech yet, so I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm certain the reporters at the AP could not
there we
have
go.
imagined that their attempt to rebuke and embarrass places and people like those here at Benedictine wouldn't be met with anger, but instead met with excitement and pride.
That's what I'm talking about, where they were like, Benedictine kind of sucks, you're stuck in the Middle Ages, and Benedictine was like, woo, yeah, Middle Ages, yeah, woo! But now they're like, they're seeing the backlash from this, and we're like, we're trying to be more diverse and equitable and inclusive. So like
Inclusion.
Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it, but the
yeah, you know, the one that like gets you fucking all the male cheerleaders when you're in college.
What?
That's what he was doing in college.
Oh,
apparently.
yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
true God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify him. Reading that article.
Okay. From the Christian lens, I get why, like, if you're inundated with Christianity for your whole life, I get why that's not a weird sentence. But, like, as a
do you say?
non-Christian, he's just like, we need to cooperate with the ghost in our life.
Like, oh.
We need to cooperate with the ghosts. If you don't cooperate with the ghosts, things go badly for you.
Oh.
Like, this is literally what he just said.
Do you remember the show back in the day called Ghost Rider?
No.
Oh, okay.
I remember a movie called Ghost Rider, starring
No.
Nicolas Cage.
No, it was way before that.
Did you see AI suggesting that you use glue to keep the pizza toppings attached? No, I didn't see that.
Not Ghost in the Shell, Ghost Rider. It was like this little spirit that would like type things on a typewriter, and like then the kids would have to go solve the mystery.
Okay, that synopsis rings a bell,
Ghost Rider.
but I don't remember it.
Now shared all over the world, we see that in the complete surrender of self and a turning towards Christ, you will find happiness.
Oh yeah, we still haven't gotten to the part that is covered by the news.
Right here in a little town in Kansas, we find many inspiring lay people using the
Kansas, he's in Kansas.
Yeah.
They said Indiana earlier.
Who?
I think it was Jassa. Jassa, you fucked
No,
up.
they said it was 50-50
No, that was
in
Kansas
the
City.
city. Oh.
Not Benedictine College. They said this was in Indiana.
Oh.
their talents. President Minnis, Dr. Swafford, and Dr. Zimmerer are a few great examples right here on
Oh, apparently they corrected themselves.
Oh.
I didn't see the correction.
this very campus that will keep the light of Christ burning bright for generations to come. Being locked in with your vocation and staying in your lane is going to be the surest way for you to find true happiness and
He keeps saying that. He
Has-
doesn't know what it means.
Has anyone started a meme yet?
Yeah, we need to get the
Stay in your lane.
Vincini meme. Be like, stay in your lane. You keep saying those words. I do not think they mean what you think they mean.
peace in this life. It is essential that we focus on our own state in life, whether that be as a layperson, a priest, or religious. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2024, you are sitting at the edge of the rest of your lives.
That's the first normal commencement address thing that he's said.
I'm like,
But like
I
that's,
didn't even
that's so
want to
cliche.
sit through my own commencement speech. Like,
Each of you has the potential to leave a legacy that transcends yourselves and this era of human existence. In the small ways, by living out your vocation, you will ensure that God's church continues and the world is enlightened by your example. For the ladies present today,
Here we go. This is why I
Bring
asked
it
you to
on.
join me instead of Sirs. For the ladies present today.
bring it on.
congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career?
Yeah.
Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
So, you, ladies, who have just spent tens of thousands of dollars getting an advanced degree so you can have a successful, fulfilling career, you're most excited about the man you're going to support in your life, right?
And the babies.
And the babies.
Yeah, of course. That's all I want. Nothing else. I don't want anything else.
You just want to clean my house for me. You don't want to be a therapist.
I want to be a therapist so that I can hire someone to clean the house.
Yeah, there we go.
I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
What were you doing before that?
it's nice that he's saying that for her as opposed to like her just saying that for herself.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's when life started.
Life started when I had your babies and cleaned your house for you.
I'm on
Well,
the stage
she ain't
today
cleaning
able
his
to be the
house,
man
let's
I
be
am
real.
Because I have a wife who leans into her vocation.
I'm able to be a guy who kickball good because my wife cleans the house for me
And raises the kids.
and raises the kids. Yeah.
I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot
The talent of kickball good.
be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all.
So he's getting all emotional about that. I side with Eli on this one, in that given the rumors that have come out with him sleeping with all the male cheerleaders, his emotionality here is not, I'm so appreciative of my wife. It's, I'll never be able to have sex with a guy again. I have to have sex with a woman.
Well, first of all, if he was having sex with a guy before he was married, which is a sin, having sex with a guy after he's married is still a sin, so you could still technically do it.
Yeah, but now he's thinking about the woman that he has to have sex with in order to convince her that he's straight. She has a vagina and they're so gross.
Well, maybe he likes both.
Well, then why is he crying?
Because it's so moving. His words are so moving. The words
not.
that... Yes, because that's the first time he's
My
reading
wife
them.
cleans my house for me so I can kick ball good.
Yeah.
That's not a moving speech. Yeah. Applause. Yes.
Are there
You
applause?
kick ball good because wife clean house.
Are there applause?
They're applauding.
I can't hear those.
You can't hear the applause?
No. That's why I'm very fucking confused with what you were doing. I'm
So
like,
you can hear what he's saying, but you don't hear the clapping?
no.
Maybe you're going through NVIDIA broadcast somehow, and it's like stripping out the applause. Okay, well, whatever.
I
there was
was
applause
very
there.
confused
There
as
was
to what
applause
you were
there.
doing.
She's a primary educator to our children. She's the one who ensures I never let football or my business become a distraction from that.
Oh, business. What's his business?
I don't know. I don't fucking care. I'm not Googling it. You can Google that shit if you
Someone
want.
Google it for me. What? I don't even remember what his name
He
is.
sells t-shirts. But something. Something but.
Like,
People are making fun of the
he's
butt.
so immemorable. Immemorable? Is that the word?
Butker.
No, but he's so immemorable. Is that the word?
Yeah, he's generic white guy.
That I don't even remember his name when I'm watching a video
generic white guy.
about him.
He's generic white guy.
I know, but I don't
The
remember.
Chad.
Yeah,
His name is Chad.
you talk too much.
It's my job.
Yeah, but you don't let me talk.
That's because you're supposed to be supporting me in my role as
Okay,
I'm
what's-
staying in my lane as the podcaster and YouTuber. You're supposed to be in the supporting
now
role.
that you got through the best part of his speech, tell Heidi about his mom. Oh,
Oh, okay, yeah. So his mom is a physicist, a professional lady who is like a legit scientist, and gave him a life of privilege by having like a dual income household with like highly educated parents.
okay. What is Chad's name?
Harrison Butker,
Thank you.
I think. Fennec says she is deeply disappointed in her response. Has she come out and actually said that, or are you just speculating?
Life, college, career.
She's the person that knows me best at my core, and it is through our marriage that, Lord willing, we will both attain salvation.
It's through our marriage that we attain salvation. Not through Jesus Christ, through our marriage.
He's got the whole world
In his
hands.
hands.
He's got the whole wide world. Oh,
I say all this.
Sorry? What's his business? Did you find it?
No.
He probably just invested in someone
This
else's
is not the
business.
first time he's done this.
Yeah, he said that earlier. He gave a commencement address at his other school that was actually his alma mater.
Yeah, where he told the women to get married and start a family.
Okay.
This is
Yeah,
not
that
the
one
first
didn't go
time.
viral though. Okay, I have to pee. So you find his business while I pee.
Okay. Okay, what was I looking for?
His
Shit.
business. Harrison Butker's business.
Oh. It's not on his Wikipedia.
Because it's not important.
Okay, his mother. What did it say about his mother? A clinical medical physicist. And holds 2, not just 1 university degree, 2. Sorry, guys, I'm reading. I want to know about his mom. Tell me about his mom, Elizabeth Butker. I want to know all about you, Mummy. Mummy! I don't know what to be. I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. What? Butker 7. That's his website. Elizabeth, come on. She's got a LinkedIn. Doesn't really have very much, I think, on her LinkedIn. No, nothing to see here. Oh, no, she doesn't really have anything on there. She has a degree in chemistry, a master's in medical physics. And she works in the Department of Radiation Oncology. Interesting. Interesting. It didn't say that she had her PhD, though.
Did you find it?
No, we're looking at his mom's LinkedIn.
His mom's LinkedIn?
Yeah. She's got her BA in chemistry, her master's in medical physics.
Medical physics, okay. Medical physics.
And she works at the Department of Radiation Oncology at a place.
He's the co-founder, president, and chief operating officer of MD Keller. So mdkeller.com. Keller is Keller.
MD Keller, shared values, shared success. Family of companies.
Diversified family
changing
company
the world.
aimed at changing the world. That's so generic. What do they do?
I don't know. What do you do?
What does MD Keller do?
He's like, I'm not a public speaker, but here's another picture of him publicly speaking.
Yeah, in a weird suit. So MD Keller is proud to join the University of Notre Dame's Fitzgerald Institute for Real Estate to establish the To the Heights. So is this a real estate company?
I don't know.
Like To the Heights Award, promoting a wide range of projects, initiative, and endeavors that have bold vision, distinctive Catholic, or are distinctively Catholic, innovative use of church property. Innovative use of church property? That be
No,
like
it
burying the dead
looks
kids?
like basically he's running an investment company. That's what it looks like.
Join the family. Whether your business is looking to join the family or you just want to learn what life is like as a strategic partner, MD Keller is here to explore the endless possibilities. We'd love to hear from you. What the fuck do you do?
He's an investor.
Okay, so that's not a business thing. That's he gives other... So he kickball good and he give people money to do things for him.
Yeah.
Those are his like that's his lane that he needs to stay in.
To you because I've seen it firsthand, how much happier someone can be when they disregard the outside noise and move closer and closer to God's will in their life.
Okay, keep in mind, happier is being a housewife if you're female. But also, like, he's a millionaire who gets paid millions of dollars to kick ball good. Mm-hmm. Like, if I got paid millions of dollars to work 1 day a week, kicking a ball good, I'm sure you would be perfectly happy to be a stay-at-home mom and not even clean the house, but just hire a housekeeper to do it because we have millions of dollars.
No, I'm bored. I want to work. See, the problem is if I have millions of dollars, my friends need to have millions of dollars so they don't have to work so that we can go and do fun stuff every day.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, you find rich friends then.
No,
rich people kind of suck though, so.
It depends. Not all rich people, but I want my friends. So
I mean,
MD
depending
Keller,
on our definitions, my dad is rich.
a values-based diversified holdings company aimed at changing the world. So, yeah, it's a holdings company, basically.
Yeah, he kickball good, he give people money good.
Well,
in theory, give people
he give money and take a percentage of their company good.
Isabel's dream of having a career might not have come true.
His wife is Isabel. She had a dream of having a career, and that didn't come true because he kicked ball good.
I had a dream.
But if you asked her today
What's
if
that
she has
from?
any regrets on her decision, she would laugh out loud without hesitation and say, heck no.
So, if I made millions of dollars, and then you could do whatever the fuck you wanted,
Okay, so honestly,
you'd be able to, like, say, yeah, no, I'm happy with my life now, instead of the life that I would have had if I hadn't married a millionaire who kickball good.
so I have always thought, like, if I won the lottery or whatever, like, or I became a stay-at-home mom, whatever it was, I would still work, but my work would be in volunteering
Yeah.
because I
You
didn't
still
need
need
the
to
money.
do something fulfilling with your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I'm not
Living a life of luxury is not emotionally fulfilling.
No.
But yeah, no, but like, if I got paid millions of dollars for kicking a ball a couple times a week, and then you had access to that money to do whatever you wanted with it, like maybe you'd still become a therapist because that's something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
But like, you would make sure that your schedule was such that like you were always available for your kids. You'd make sure that we had a housekeeper to clean the house or whatever. Yeah, fuck yeah with that. But like, yeah, no, like that's one of those things where like, do you regret being married to a millionaire? Of course she fucking doesn't. But like,
she's like, no, I don't regret being married to a millionaire. I just regret being married to him.
being married to the default Chad. Well, no, not the default Chad. You'd have to change his hair brown first, but just Chad.
What's his wife's name?
Isabel.
Oh, yeah.
As a man who gets a lot of praise and has been given a platform to speak to audiences like this one today, I pray that I always use my voice.
Does he get a lot of praise?
Like I said, I'm watching the video of him and I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, no, the first we heard of him was when people were lambasting him for being a misogynistic prick. So I don't know that he does get a lot of praise. Like even before he came out publicly with this, he's a kicker. He kickball good.
Well,
For God and not for myself. Everything I am saying to you is not from a place of wisdom, but rather a place of experience.
He has experience being a housewife, you see. Back when he was fucking the male cheerleaders, he was always the bottom and always in the more effeminate position. I feel bad saying that because that's like asking gay people which one of you is the woman.
I didn't even hear what you said.
I was saying things that didn't really make sense.
I'm hopeful that these words will be seen as those from a man, not much older than you, who feels it is imperative that this class, this generation...
Remember at the beginning when he was like talking about how like we're all a bunch of old, like I'm an old person who's going to give you my wisdom and experience?
Yeah, he's 28.
And now he's like, yeah, I'm not that much older than you.
He's
so
still
I can
a puppy.
relate to you. Let me turn the chair backwards and put my cap on backwards so I can relate to you.
Yeah, he's still a puppy. So Us Magazine, an article, who is Isabel Butker? 5 things to know about Chief Kicker Harrison Butker's wife.
Okay.
They're not about her.
They're about him.
It's like, when did you marry him?
Oh, god damn it.
Like,
really?
Can you imagine being deduced? That's what you are deduced to as a person.
You want to know interesting things about her? I will tell you interesting things about her. She has a passion for therapy. And she's
I thought you were talking about Isabel. I was like, what? Does
no,
she?
you.
Then I realized.
Because you are your own fucking person outside of me. And you're an amazing person. And I would not have the feelings that I have for you if you identified yourself based on what I am.
Does Isabel Butker appear on Harrison's social media? That's one of the must...
Who fucking cares?
That's one of the 5 must-knows about her.
I mean, to be fair, the only reason I know about Travis Kelce is because he's dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So, like, everything I know about Travis Kelce is Taylor Swift adjacent.
Yep.
So, turnabout's fair play, I guess?
Yeah.
But no, because it's been turned about on the women for all of history.
But even so, like, just being deduced to a part of this person and not my own person.
No,
like,
I want you to be your own person.
Was like, oh,
how many times have I told you, like, no, you go fucking hang out with your friends. You don't worry about what I need you to do. You go hang out with your friends and be your own person for a bit because you do too much around here.
That's true. I do. But, like, I was actually interested. I was like, okay, 5 things to know about her. I thought they were going to tell me maybe about her degree or,
God.
I mean, they did say, like, she was an athlete in college, so that's pretty interesting about her, but, like...
What sport?
Basketball.
Okay. So Matt Powell's sport.
I guess.
You don't know who Matt Powell is, really?
Not really. But, like...
See, this is how you know she
did
doesn't
she appear
identify
on his
herself
social
by
media?
who I
When
am.
did she marry
because
him?
she doesn't know who fucking Matt Powell is.
Like, none of that's
Next
about
Friday,
her.
Matt Powell.
And it's like, fuck off. I wanted to know.
Matt Powell's
Isabel,
a fucking idiot.
I wanted to know, okay?
Yeah, we want to know who Isabel is, not who Harrison's wife is.
In this time in our society, must stop pretending that the things we see around us are normal.
Okay, literally, the definition of normal is the things you see around you all the time. So, like, You might not like it, but whatever it is that you see all the time, that's normal. I'm not even saying that, like, normal is necessarily good.
No.
Just, like, by definition, the things you see all the time are the things that are normal.
Heterodox ideas abound even within Catholic circles. For let's be honest, there is nothing good about playing God with having children.
There's nothing good about playing God with having children, so that's another IVF and surrogacy dig.
There's nothing what?
Nothing good about playing God with having children.
Ugh.
So you can't have IVF. You let God decide whether or not your body is ready for children.
Whether that be your ideal number or the perfect time to conceive.
Oh yeah, also no contraceptive, because God will decide how many kids you have, so you just have all the sex. And
Yes,
if it
because
results
we're
in a
all
kid-
millionaires and we can afford all the children.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's privilege speaking, because he gets paid millions of dollars to kick ball good.
Okay, so I found another article on her, and it's still, when did she get married to him? Blah, blah, blah. How long?
If I want to know about her, who is
I
she?
know.
Who is she? Fuck him. Who is she?
But it's like, who is Harris Butker's wife? All about Isabel Butker. No, it's all about him. All about him. She converted to Catholicism for him. They got married in 2018. They share 2 children.
Do they share 2 children if she's the homemaker? See, here's the thing. Like, economically speaking, he's a fucking millionaire. He can afford to keep his wife at home doing whatever the fuck she wants. Most people, it does not make economic sense to have one person making the money and one person staying home. They need to both be out there making money.
She also has a degree in industrial engineering.
She probably had higher grades than him, I'll bet. I would be willing to bet that she had higher grades than him.
What?
But, like, I don't know. This is just one of those things where it's like, just economically speaking, like, he is incredibly privileged. He just doesn't comprehend the fact that the cost of living is such and wages are such that you literally have to have 2 people working just to make ends meet. And he is playing this up like, and so the reality of the situation is, if the women in the audience that he is speaking to actually do what he says that they're supposed to do, they are going to have careers, but then also they're going to be the ones that are solely in charge of keeping the house in order.
True story. Okay, this article is wrong. Because it says she has an industrial engineering degree, but it also says that she met him at college, and that's not true. They were high
He said
schools.
met her in middle school.
Yeah. So, I don't know that she actually does, because the fake news. That's all I got for you.
She's copying his degree onto her.
I have no fucking clue, because, yeah.
Pandora's Unboxing says, I'd be willing to bet that Rox had higher grades than him. Yeah, I would not take that bet, because I agree.
No matter how you spin it, there is nothing natural about Catholic birth control.
There's nothing natural about Catholic birth control. Okay. So...
Is he talking about, like, pulling out as Catholic birth
No,
control?
I think he was talking about, like, just letting God decide how many kids you're going to have by not using any birth control whatsoever. But, like, is he saying nothing natural is a good thing, or is he saying nothing natural is a bad thing? Because either way...
I have no idea what he's saying.
Like, I don't know, because, like, if you use birth control, no, that's not natural, but at the same time, like, you point out to them that, like, in the animal kingdom, most animals are naturally, like, they naturally will do homosexual things. Because, you know, orgasms feel good, regardless of who you're doing it with, and most animals don't have the mental capacity to, like, make the decision of, like, I'm not attracted to the girl, I am attracted to the boy, or whatever. They're just like, nah, let me stick my dick in that because it feels good.
That, I feel like...
That's what animals mostly do.
Yeah.
Like, sexuality is a mostly human thing where we actually worry about, like, am I attracted to men or women? I don't know. So, like, if you're going by what's natural, having a good time is natural.
Yes.
Making your dick feel good is natural. Making your clit feel good is
Yes,
natural.
pleasure seeking is a very natural part of the human existence.
Yeah. Like, pleasure evolved as a reward sensation to make you want to do things that are good for survival and the propagation of the species.
True. Sorry, how much longer is
And
this? Like,
Catholics believe it. There's 5 minutes left.
It is only in the past few years that I have grown in courage to speak more boldly and directly, because as I mentioned earlier, I have leaned into my vocation as a husband and father, and as a man.
And as a guy who kickball good.
and apparently as a guy who stands on stage telling people what to do. I don't feel like that's part of you.
I'm not a public
So
speaker,
according
so
to
here
him-
I am public speaking saying stay in your lane.
I feel like for him, your vocation is just whatever you choose to do, because he's just choosing to do all these different things and calling it his vocation. So can I not just choose to do all these different things and call it my vocation?
No, because you have a vagina.
Damn it.
I have the penis,
Damn
so
you,
you
vagina!
must serve me.
The gentleman here today, part of what plagues our society is this lie that has been told to you that men are not necessary in the home or in our communities.
They're not, though. They often cause problems in the home and in communities.
Oh, what did she say?
As men, we set the tone of the culture, and when that is absent, disorder, dysfunction.
Why do men get to set the tone of the culture? I feel like the culture would be better if women got to set the tone. Like, I know that's speaking somewhat stereotypically, but like toxic masculinity is a thing.
It is.
And if toxic masculinity was not setting the tone, the culture would be better. And the way you achieve that is by letting women set the tone.
So apparently his mother followed in his grandfather's footsteps.
So Jassa says, we don't know if he kickball good. He could just kick ball. I mean, he's in the NFL, so I assume he kickball better than me. But, yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading an article.
Oh, yeah, I figured you were.
And chaos set in. This absence of men in the home is what plays a large role in the violence we see all around the nation.
So, absentee fathers, that's a dog whistle. Because that's the thing that they will often bring up with, like, oh, black people have a higher absentee father rate. That's why their crime rate is higher. Because black men are genetically disposed to abandon their women. Because black men suck. Like, no, that's a racist dog whistle. So we've got an anti-Semite dog whistle. We've got an anti-black dog whistle. We've got women should stay in the home and be homemakers. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Other countries do
Oh,
not.
I wonder how he feels about his teammate's girlfriend, Taylor Swift, who makes all her own money and buys her own things.
He's probably just jealous of Travis. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit jealous of Travis.
Why?
Okay. If we could invite Taylor Swift into our relationship to become a throuple with her, would you not want to do that?
No, I'd rather talk to her. Because she seems fucking awesome.
Okay. Travis gets to talk to her. He does not. There you go. You're also jealous of Travis a little bit.
The same absentee father rates as we find here in the U.S. And
Okay. Same question, but Scarlett Johansson. You'd invite her in as a throuple. I know this. Do not deny it.
Yes, I do
We
love me
both
some
have a
Scarlett
thing.
Johansson,
We
but
both have a thing for Scarlett Johansson.
yes, I agree. But like nowadays, not that she's not fucking gorgeous, she's fucking gorgeous. But like now, I just want to talk to her because she is also pretty fucking awesome.
This is how we know you're getting old.
No, but like when she tells the reporters off because they ask her questions because she's a woman and she's like, "What kind of fucking question is that? Why did he get all the good questions and I don't get the good questions?"
You're asking me about my tight costume?
Yeah. So now I just want to have a conversation with her.
the correlation could be made in their drastically lower violence rates as well. Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men.
Toxic masculinity bad. I'm okay
Yep.
saying that. Like, he literally faked some tears earlier. I'm not going to say that those were real tears. I guarantee you those were fake. He recovered from them way too quick. So he faked tears to make it sound like he was getting all emotional about his wife being a stay-at-home mom or whatever. But, like, toxic masculinity would have you not cry. So, like, that was literally defiance of toxic masculinity right there. That was the feminization. And it's a good thing that you're allowed to show emotion. Except, like, be real about it. Don't fake it. Because people think that that's, like...
You gotta fake
Do hard
it
things. Never settle for what
before
is easy.
you make it.
You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy, but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better.
Lean into your talent that you don't enjoy, because that glorifies God.
No, thank you.
And remember, this is in the context of him telling women to be homemakers. So you need to clean and organize the home, because that glorifies God, even if that's not what you like. Because I kick ball good.
I feel like there should be laws against headlines.
Donald Jaramillo says, watch Heidi diddle her ear.
I don't actually put it in. It doesn't count. But like, there should be a law against headlines. The headline actually has to accurately reflect what the fuck is in the article.
Yeah. Well, the headlines often aren't even written by the same person who writes the article.
I speak from experience as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker and an entrepreneur.
But he said he's not a public speaker at the beginning.
Yep. No, that's because he's an amateur public speaker.
Still a public speaker.
And an entrepreneur, because making millions of dollars as a guy who kick ball good makes it really easy to throw a few $1,000s at some guy's business venture. Like, yeah, if I had a few $1 million and a buddy of mine came to me and was like, yeah, I have this business idea, I'd probably fund it.
Yep.
But I don't have a few $1 million. So,
But he only funds, like, what did it say?
Catholic ones?
Value-based businesses.
I mean, to be fair, I would also only fund businesses whose mission was in line with my values. But my values don't line up with an organization known for hiding child fuckers.
Yeah, no.
And protecting them from prosecution. I have better values than that.
Something I never thought I'd be when I received my industrial engineering degree. The road ahead is bright. Things are changing. Society is shifting. And people, young and old, are embracing tradition. Not only has it been my...
Okay. He got his industrial engineering degree, but he played college football as well. Do you think he actually intended to do anything with that degree? Or was he just intending on being a football player?
So I have heard that and I could be wrong, people correct me because I don't actually know, that a lot of these professional players, in their contracts, they actually have to have like a money manager and a finance.
That's fairly new.
Right.
Like maybe he did apply to, maybe that did apply to him because he's so fucking young.
So maybe.
God, I'm almost 10 years older than him.
I'm more than that, so.
Fuck him.
He's a pup. So yeah, maybe I feel like not a lot, but I feel like some of the upcoming professional athletes, or even the ones that are there now, whatever, are a little bit more business minded.
Yeah, but in the past, there's always been a culture of like, if one of your students is on your football team or whatever, you give them extra grace with their assignments and whatever, and you give them leeway with their grades and give them better grades than they deserve because they're playing football and that brings money to the college or whatever. So, like, I don't know. I have my doubts as to this guy's actual talents aside from kickball good.
Well, you know what? Because that's all he does, he might actually have actual talents. Like,
maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta...
Fennec says Butker is the same age as my boyfriend. Oh, no. Stop robbing the cradle. Or the grave. I don't know how old you are. So
he's got nothing else to do. Like, he only kicks every once in a while. Like, maybe he does have other interests. I don't know.
But, well, okay. The fact that he took his industrial engineering degree and started a venture capital firm highly suggests that... he doesn't actually do anything with his engineering degree. No. Fennec is the same age as Taylor Swift. Which I have no idea how old Taylor Swift is.
What is this? Stop. Where'd this come from?
Was that McAfee? Do you have McAfee on that computer?
I don't know where.
How did you get McAfee on that computer?
I don't know.
That is my computer that I gave to you, and you put McAfee on that bullshit?
Therefore, it's not yours, and you can't tell me what I can do with it.
No, but McAfee?
I didn't do it. It just appeared.
That's almost as bad as Norton.
It just appeared.
Almost as bad as Norton. Not quite as bad.
vocation that has helped me and those closest to
I'm wiping that hard drive.
me, but not surprising to many of you, should be my outspoken embrace of the traditional Latin Mass. I've been very vocal.
Traditional Latin Mass. That's
Does
where you
he
go to
speak
Catholic.
Latin?
Most people who go to traditional Latin Mass do not.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like so you're going to go to a mass where you can't understand anything?
But it's tradition. And tradition automatically good because Benedictine.
But how are they
doubled
supposed
their
to shepherd you and
enrollment.
speak out? Sure, speak out in Latin. Speak it out. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, let's go to a mass that we don't in a language we don't understand. That's going to make it way more appealing.
in my love and devotion to the TLM and its necessity for our lives. But what I think gets
Okay. No, I guess the T is traditional. I was going to say the TLM is the Latin Mass, but no, it's traditional Latin Mass.
misunderstood is that people who attend the TLM do so out of pride or preference. I can speak to my own experience, but for most people, I have come.
Yeah, no, it is out of pride. It's people being like, oh, you
Pride to sin.
take mass in the language that you speak. I take mass in Latin. I am better than you
Because
I do it in Latin.
that's what they spoke.
It's obviously pride.
in
In
these communities
ancient
is simply-
Israel.
is not true. I do not attend the TLM because I think I'm better than others, or for the smells and bells, or even for the love of Latin.
Okay, then why then? It's like who fucking
Maybe you'll
what does it matter what language the mass like the mass if mass is actually important, it should be in a language that you speak.
Mm-hmm. 'Cause
If you
need
don't
to
understand what they're
it.
saying, it's not important. Then if you don't understand what they're saying, then definitionally what they're saying can't be important.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're saying it in a language you don't understand, and that's the one you want people to go to, then it's not important what they're saying.
I attend the TLM because I believe, just as the God of the Old Testament was pretty particular in how he wanted to be worshipped, the same holds true for us today. It is through the TLM that I encountered order and began to pursue it.
Yet God is unreasonably particular in how he wants people to worship him.
But what does Latin have to do with that?
Yeah, they didn't speak Latin in the Old Testament.
No.
Latin didn't exist back then. They were speaking Hebrew.
That's
And
what I
then
mean.
Aramaic. So why are you not going to a Hebrew
listen
mass?
to me.
Mass. What'd you say?
I said you don't listen to me because I actually said that like 5 minutes ago.
That was more like 45 seconds ago, because I was listening.
You just ignored me.
Kinda.
It's even better than not
I spoke
listening.
over you because you're my housekeeper. You're my homemaker.
I am.
Your work in the home allows me to be the man that I truly am. So you need to sacrifice everything that you could potentially be so that I can be who I am.
I don't.
Have I mentioned that whole behind every great man is a great woman thing is misogynistic bullshit?
I mean, it's
Like,
true.
if you're a great woman, you can be a great woman on your own merits. And
yes,
your name can
but
go
see,
down in the
I
history
always
books.
see it from the standpoint of a man can never be great unless he has a strong woman behind it.
I'm taking bets on if Heidi smothers him with a pillow tonight. Only if it's either my pillow or the pillowcases get washed first.
He's like, if I'm going to die, I still need to die
Under sanitary conditions.
So, true story with my ex-husband. You'd think this is a warning sign.
Ex-husband is not the father of her children,
No.
by the way. This is
An
years
ex,
before that.
Yeah. I used to say to him, please don't smother me in my sleep.
Okay, can I tell them how you told him you were going to break up with him? You wanted to, like, when you told him you wanted a divorce? Can I tell them?
Go ahead.
She told her ex-husband that she wanted a divorce mid-sex.
I didn't say I wanted a divorce mid-sex. I just acknowledged that the relationship was over.
In the middle of coitus. So, like, when I found that out, I'm like, if you ever want to break up with me, like, yep, fine. Like, that's a conversation we can have. But, like, don't do it in the middle of sex.
I mean, to be fair to me, he spent the whole weekend talking to some other girl. So
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that he didn't deserve it, because he was a piece of shit from everything I heard about him.
But yeah.
This is also the guy that, like, after they divorced, they were still kind of living together
Oh,
because,
yeah.
like, housing prices or whatever. And then he asked if the woman that he cheated on her with could move in with them.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a no.
Yeah. He was.
So, like, he was a piece of shit that deserved to be broken up with mid-sex, is what I'm getting at. It's still something
it
that
was
I find funny.
great. Yeah.
Jassa says nut and blue balls at the same time. And then Fennec says, "How did you not shoot him?"
Oh my gosh, I am an amazing fucking human being. That's all I have to say.
And that's why the father of her children is still alive. Because she is generous. She's a generous goddess.
Yeah, I am.
In my own life. Aside from the TLM itself, too many of our sacred traditions have been relegated to things of the past, when in my parish, things such as Ember Days, days when we fast and pray for vocations and for our priests, are still adhered to. The TLM is so essential that I would challenge each of you to pick a place to move where it is readily available. A lot of people...
You have to move somewhere so you can have Mass in Latin.
So, I would like to go to Mass with him, and then afterwards, can I ask him questions about what he got out of Mass?
No, ask him during. Ask him to translate for you during the Mass.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Can you please translate for me? I'm really trying here. I want to be a good Catholic.
We'll have complaints about the parish or the community, but we should not sacrifice the Mass for community. I prioritize the TLM even if the parish isn't beautiful, the priest isn't great, or the community isn't amazing.
So
How would you know the priest isn't great? You can't understand him.
You go for the Latin Mass even if everything else sucks.
I still go to the TLM because I believe the holy sacrifice of the Mass is more important than anything else.
Mass is a sacrifice. Going to Mass is supposed to be a sacrifice. It's something bad that you do in your life that you're giving up. Like, what the fuck kind of worldview?
I don't know, but Rainey, don't worry. I don't let him walk all over me.
Oh, nobody cares about your...
This just happens to be his channel, so...
Oh, Heidi, don't let him walk all over you, babes.
Yeah.
Is that talking about me? Or is that talking about your exes? When did
You.
that message come through? Was I walking all over you?
That was when you didn't... I'm pretty sure that's when you didn't acknowledge my contributions to the conversation.
I'm having you on here. Specifically
It's
because...
privilege enough. I don't want you to speak.
I thought about asking...
and share your thoughts.
I thought about asking Cirrus to do this with me, and then I was like, nah, two guys speaking about another guy talking about women's role in society. I should probably get an actual woman on.
So I'm just the token woman.
You're my token woman, yeah.
I'm not actually here for my own credibility.
No, you're here
Okay.
so that I can say I have a friend who has a vagina.
Okay. Just checking.
She lets me in it sometimes.
Oh, she was talking about
not tonight though. The way this is going.
I think they were talking about my exes. They said no exes.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So I'm still good. I think maybe. We'll see. I'll let you guys know tomorrow how it goes.
I say this knowing full well that when each of you rekindle your knowledge and adherence to many of the church's greatest traditions, you will see how much more colorful and alive your life can and should be.
You know, like...
Your life will be more colorful and alive if you go to this boring thing every Sunday that you don't even understand because it's in Latin.
Well, I was more thinking about their tradition of just killing people. My life would be so much better if I could just kill people.
As you move on from this place and enter into the world, know that you will face many challenges. Sadly, I'm sure many of you know of the countless stories of good and active members of this community who, after graduation and moving away from the Benedictine bubble, have ended up moving in with their boyfriend or girlfriend prior to marriage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you know that we're living in sin?
What? No. We can only sin if we believe in God. If we don't believe in God...
But I mean, this is where I've kind of like... I think we've talked about this together. If not, I've definitely mentioned it on my channel at some point, is that because we are not married, every morning when we wake up, you have the choice of like, do I want to spend another day with this guy? Mm-hmm. And if you decide no, you can just leave. Mm-hmm. Whereas if we're married...
I need to fix my computer.
Is that McAfee again?
Yes.
Sorry, McAfee. I saw you guys trying to correct my pronunciation. But yeah, no, if we were married... then that creates a bunch of legal barriers to you getting away from me.
I wasn't even married to my kid's dad, and it's been like 2 years, and we can't sort this shit out.
But the fact that but we don't have kids together, you and I. So the
you
fact
won't
that
give me babies.
No, I'm not going to give you babies because I've been snipped, and I have no intention of reversing that ever.
I would like some babies, please.
And you kind of want a hysterectomy, don't you? Wouldn't it be nice to just yeet us the uterus?
Yeet us? Well, I think next
periods?
week I'm going to talk about ablation, where they're just going to burn it.
Yeah, but like every day you wake up and you have the choice of whether or not you stay with me, and there's no legal barriers to you leaving. So I feel like that shows a greater commitment and greater love that you continually choose to be with me, rather than it would just be harder if I had to fight that legal battle.
Yeah, I told you this because I'm an amazing fucking human being.
You are an amazing human being. And that's why I don't kick you out of my house. Because you're great.
I feel like that was a veiled threat.
No. Yeah, keep being great or I'll kick you out. But, like, to be great, you just have to be who you are because you're great.
I know. Damn it.
Oh, my God.
Okay, keep going. We only had 5 minutes like an hour ago.
I am teaching you how to use Revo Uninstaller.
Okay, go.
Which actually might be why I had to
go.
do
Nobody
historical on
cares.
my computer
Go.
today.
Some even leave the church and abandon God.
Oh, no.
It is always heartbreaking to hear these stories, and there's a desire to know what happened.
It's not heartbreaking for me, man.
No.
It's pretty fucking great.
They decided to
and what
enjoy
went
their
wrong.
life.
What you must remember is that life is about doing the small things well, setting yourself up for success.
Do the small things well. The clit is very small. Do it well.
Well, I guess that's why he's the kicker, because it's the only thing he has to do.
Yeah.
So you just
it's
have
a
to do
small
the
thing, and he
one
does it
thing
well.
well.
There we go. Yeah, that's the one thing he's actually qualified to say in this whole speech.
And surrounding yourself with people who continue
Kickball good.
to push you to be the best version of you. I say this all the time, that iron sharpens iron.
He says that as though he came up with it, but like, no,
Yeah.
that's a thing that's been around for ages, man. Like, he had to attribute familiarity breeds contempt to Taylor Swift, just to be like, hey, I know a guy who knows Taylor Swift. But like, when it comes to iron sharpens iron, something that everybody fucking knows, he's like, I say this all the time. It's my thing. It's like, no, everybody says
It's
that.
a great reminder that those closest to us should be making us better. If you are dating someone who doesn't even share your faith, how do you expect that person to help you become a saint?
Okay, so first
So,
of all,
you do not share my faith. Or lack thereof.
first of all, his wife didn't share his faith when they started dating.
Mm-hmm.
She converted.
Yeah, she yielded to his pressure because he wouldn't.
Yeah.
She found something about this personality appealing for some fucking reason. Maybe the millions of dollars. I don't know. Maybe they didn't make millions of dollars when they decided to have a relationship, but like.
Well, it's not about when they decided to have a
Yeah,
relationship.
but, like,
it's when she converted.
She found something about him appealing, so she converted to be with
right.
him or whatever.
But my point is
But, like,
that he was dating someone who
So-
didn't share his faith.
you don't share my faith.
No, I don't.
I am an atheist.
Yes.
You have all sorts of beliefs that
I
I
have
think
magical powers, yes.
are a little bit nonsense.
What the fuck?
But this is the thing. Like, we can have conversations about this, and we can like.
I
hash
don't
it
know,
out.
can we?
And that's iron sharpens iron. So you are a smart person with different beliefs than me, who I like to think that I'm smart as well. So we can have conversations about this, and we get better from that. If we just agreed on everything, that's not iron sharpening iron. That's like the wood block saying, I am sharp. And the other wood block being like, yeah, I guess you are. I have nothing to compare it to. Neither do I, so I must be sharp. But because we are both smart people who have different beliefs and different understandings of the world, we can talk to each other about that, and iron sharpens iron. So, if you actually want iron to sharpen iron, find someone who is not of the same faith as you.
If your friend group is filled with people who only think about what you're doing next weekend and are not willing to have those difficult conversations, how can they help sharpen you?
I mean, what's a friend group? I don't know. What is that?
Go the fuck away. What is happening?
Why do you have McAfee?
I don't
bothering
know.
you?
I was trying to look up his wife and shit happened, okay?
What thing did you install that had McAfee as an automatic thing that you didn't uncheck?
I don't know. Like I said, I was looking for his wife and shit happened.
I am destroying your hard drive after the stream.
As long as you take all the stuff I need off of it first.
That's not the only thing I'm destroying after the stream.
As you prepare to enter into the workforce, it is extremely important that you actually think about the places you are moving to. Who is the bishop? What kind of parishes are there? Do they offer the TLM and have priests who embrace their priestly vocation? Cost of living?
No, the questions you ask is, can I get a good job? Can I afford to live there? What is the cost of the food to feed this family of 1 million that you
Am I
think I
even
should
going
have?
to be able to find a job in my vocation there? It's like if you move to buttfuck Indiana, you're not going to be able to get like a job in a high-tech industry or whatever, as if you move to like Silicon Valley in California. Naramdaput says, or, use a whetstone. It's like, a whetstone's not made out of iron, but it sharpens iron.
True story.
You must not be the only arbiter of your choices. For a life without God is not a life at all.
Oh, I've had more of a life without God than I did when I had
Yeah,
God.
so we are both former Christians, and we were both fairly fundamentalist when we were Christian, and we both agree that our life is way better after leaving Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And the cost of salvation is worth more than any career.
Disagree. Like the cost of salvation, what cost? You say, Jesus, I accept you into my heart, and you're saved. There's no cost to that.
Well, the cost is moving to a place that does Latin.
The Latin Mass, yeah.
Mass, and you might not be able to get a job there that pays good money and you can't afford to feed your kids, but hell, you guys can go to Mass, Latin Mass.
Sure. Fennec says, move to Intercourse, Pennsylvania for the lulz.
Is that really a place?
Yeah, you didn't know about Intercourse, Pennsylvania?
Can we go there?
In order to get to Intercourse, Pennsylvania, you have to go through hell, which is another place in Pennsylvania. What? I don't know if that's actually true from our location, but depending on where you're leaving from, you have to go through hell to get to Intercourse. Paradise, Pennsylvania is also a thing. Trapped in Paradise is a movie that takes place in Paradise, California, but the exterior shots were filmed in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, which is like a 45-minute drive north. North? Yeah, north from me. Oh, is hell in Michigan? I'm pretty sure there's a hell, Pennsylvania.
I don't know, but I want to go to Intercourse. What's there? Is there anything interesting there? Please tell me it's like an interesting town and shit.
I don't think so. It's probably just a small little podunk town.
I'm excited for the future, and I pray that something I've said will resonate as you move on to the next chapter of
the things he said resonated, that's for sure.
your life. Never be afraid to profess the one holy, Catholic, and apostolic church, for this is the church that Jesus Christ established, through which we receive sanctifying grace.
Jesus Christ did not establish this church. So much of what this church does is very antithetical to the teachings of Jesus as found in the Bible.
Yeah.
So much of it.
I know that my message today had a little less fluff than is expected for these speeches.
What kind of fluff is expected for these people?
I don't fucking know.
A commencement speech is supposed to be actionable advice that you give to these people. Like, these are things you can do to succeed in life. That wasn't fluff. That was just let me complain about politics and women working. Jester Lord of Fools says, behind every great woman is a trail of eunuchs.
But I believe that this audience and this venue is the best place to speak openly and honestly about who we are and where we all want to go.
That venue came out and said, we disagree with him.
Which is heaven.
Oh yeah, which is heaven. We want to go to heaven.
I thank God for Benedictine College and for the example it provides to the world. I thank God for men like President Minnis who are doing their part for the kingdom. Come to find out, you can have an authentically Catholic college and a thriving football program.
Except the Catholic college came out and we're like, yeah, no, we're actually trying to be more progressive now. Rainey says, where is Cirrus? Why would you want Cirrus for this? This is a Heidi and Rhino stream.
Oh, the uwus.
Oh, the uwus. Yeah, okay. That's just my notifications that I keep forgetting to change. I'm supposed to change them, but it's kind of funny when Cirrus gets mad at them. But I also have them on a button.
Uwu. Uwu.
So, that's fun.
Make no mistake, you are entering into mission territory in a post-God world.
It's a post-God world. Did you know that? This world is post-God. We don't have a problem with Christian nationalists trying to take over the American government right now, because it's a post-God world. The Speaker of the House, the third person in line to be the most powerful person on the planet, is definitely not a fundamentalist Christian right now. Mike Johnson, that guy, definitely not a fundamentalist Christian.
Isn't the president a Christian?
He's a Catholic. But he did the sign of the cross and an abortion thing. Oh. So he's not a true Christian.
And then what, does Camilla not count? I don't know if she is or isn't, but...
Camilla? You mean Kamala?
Camilla. Yeah.
Camilla's the British one.
Yeah.
Is she Christian?
I don't know.
Probably. I don't know.
But I'm guessing even if she was, she wouldn't
Statistically,
count.
she is.
Can I finish my fucking...
No. I have the penis here.
Even if she was, she wouldn't count because she's a woman and she's black.
You were made for this, and with God by your side and a constant striving for virtue within your vocation, you too can be a saint. Christ is King to the heights.
All right, that's it. He's done.
Oh, thank God.
He's done.
I feel like we should just do away with commencement speeches. It's supposed to be actionable advice, but everyone's life is different. So your advice to me and to someone else aren't necessarily going to be valid.
I think we should get rid of all speeches at graduation ceremonies because they're fucking boring.
No, back home, it's fucking ridiculous. So we have to have a politician come and speak. Mm-hmm. And they speak for like an hour because, high school graduates, that's what they want to hear. And then we still have our valedictorian. And then our principal has to give a speech. And then there's some other honored guest that gets a speech. And it's like,
yeah, that's about the same as it is here.
Fucking Lord.
It's so boring.
Like, oh.
Like, I just want to walk across the stage, get my picture taken, and go home.
Yeah. Actually, when I went to college, I just stopped going to graduations. I was like, oh, thank you.
Meanwhile, my grandmother, so she grew up in the era of, like, women don't really matter sort of thing.
Has that changed?
Sorry?
Has
Yeah,
that
okay.
changed?
So she was a teacher, and she was very qualified to be a teacher. She went to post-secondary education for it. Normal school is what they called it back then. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. But she never once had a graduation ceremony in her entire life. Like, she had all the education. She was a teacher for her whole life, and a very qualified one. She had the degrees, but she never actually had a graduation ceremony. So that was something that, like, we did for her 90th birthday. Was my mother actually like called the normal school she went to, which is still around. It's no longer called a normal school, but she got them to actually, like, issue her a proper degree, and we dressed her up in, like, the cap and gown and everything. And for her 90th birthday, we threw her a graduation ceremony.
Oh, that's cute.
And the timing was excellent because she died before she got to 91. And the graduation thing, like, she had severe dementia and she went downhill really, really fast after that. But, like, she still was in possession of her faculties when that happened. So I'm happy that she got, because, like, every time any one of us graduated, she was always, like, kind of grumpy about it. Like, they're graduating from grade 4. I didn't get a single graduation, and they're graduating from grade 4 to grade 5.
I had 6 graduations by the time I graduated from high school.
Yeah. So, like, she was always a little bit grumpy about that, being like, they're not going to understand how special a graduation actually is with how many stupid graduations they get.
I agree. I 100% agree.
And so I'm happy we got to do that for her before she died.
So every time you say, like, possession of their faculties or some variation of that, I always think of poop.
Oh, I was going to say, like, they own the staff at the school.
No, I don't know why. My brain, it's like, it almost, like, swaps out feces for faculties, and I don't know why.
I mean, when you get old, you're probably going to have problems with incontinence.
Like,
It's a thing that happens when you get old. It'll get worse. Yeah, you have those problems because you had children.
Yeah.
Sound off, people in the audience who have been pregnant. It's like, that's another reason why pro-choice is an important thing, is, like, some of those changes to your body are just permanent. Like, that's a thing you just have to deal with forever now. So, yeah.
Story.
Yeah, that was Harrison Butker. Now we need to end the stream and find out if I'm still alive in the morning.
Well, I want to know. Just go the fuck away.
What do you want to know?
I want to know what his dad does. We've only discussed what his mom does.
That's because his mom was the important one who actually had the good job.
She followed in her dad's footsteps.
What, Harrison Butker?
No, his mom.
His mom.
What does his dad do?
Harrison Butker father. Harrison Butker's father was also named Harrison Butker. Harrison Butker Sr. does not have his own Wikipedia page.
No LinkedIn. What does he do?
Got Sportskeeda. Says Harrison Butker parents.
It's itchy.
This looks like an AI written article. It just smacks of it.
My ear is so itchy, itchy, itchy ear.
Harrison Butker's parents are Harrison Butker Sr. and Elizabeth Butker. He was born to them on July 14th. Yeah, who cares? The couple also have a daughter named Charlotte Butker. In an interview, Butker revealed that his parents never forced him to play football. No, generally people who get good at football are people who wanted to play football, not who were forced into it.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, audience, can someone please explain to me this ooh-woo thing? Because I have no idea what it is.
Ooh-woo.
Yeah, that thing. Why? Why is it a thing? What does it mean?
I don't know. Cyrus hates it,
Oh,
so
Butker's father, Harrison Sr., is a financial analyst at MD Keller, an American holding company, co-founder.
MD Keller is the name of Harrison's company. So wait, did he found it and then his father joined on, or is he just taking over a thing that his father set up?
Co-founded by Butker Jr. and his best friend in 2021.
Jassa says it's Uwu versus Oo, and Cyrus is wrong.
Okay, but what do they mean? What does Uwu mean? What does
I don't
Owo?
know. I just know that Cyrus doesn't like Uwu, so I have a button that makes Cyrus say Uwu.
Uwu.
Yeah, it's faces. It's cute faces that like it looks like faces in the text. That's all it is. I don't know. I don't get it either. I don't get it.
Okay, so why does Cyrus hate it?
I don't. Okay, because one of the
Uwu is a furry thing, according to Lord of Uzkalak.
to part the curtain a little bit, one of the things you can do as a content creator in order to kind of engagement farm is come up with things that you, in theory, hate, but it actually doesn't matter. But the audience then will get a kick out of making you hate this thing because they want to see the reaction. So I don't think he actually does hate it.
Oh, it's supposed to be a cat?
Well, it's just like a cute face.
No, I'm reading the
Okay.
audience are telling me what it is.
Okay. You need to be a weeb to understand. Alex says because he hates fun.
He does sound quite serious.
Serious?
I had to.
I know.
So I was thinking maybe you would want to do a sex with me.
No.
Oh.
No.
So have you figured out what Uwu is? Can I end the stream yet?
Well, there's been a few different... Some people say it's just a cute face, and other people say it's a furry animal. I don't really know.
Yeah, no.
And I keep getting alerts that I have a critical virus.
Oh my god.
Oh. What happened? Oh, go... And it keeps giving me pop-ups. I think it is the virus.
Yeah. It's not a joke that McAfee and Norton are actually malware. It's not a joke. They literally just are.
Oh, apparently cat faces are known to be uwu, and I guess doesn't he wear a kitty costume?
Cyrus?
Yeah.
Yeah, Neko Cyrus, and Neko is a cat
Oh, there
person.
you go.
Fennec says, so are we yeeting the computer into the abyss? No, I will save this computer. It is using... So, the computer that she's
Save
using...
me!
No, I'm a big proponent of reusing old tech. So, like, the computer that she's using has the first graphics card I ever bought. It's a GTX 1050 Ti. No, sorry, that's the second. The first one was like a GT 710 from Zotac, and it was a piece of shit. First real graphics card I bought. And yeah, it's not a great graphics card, but it gets the job done for what she needs it for. And so like there's a lot of like reused stuff in our house. Like my server is completely made out of old parts for my main work computer. And like, yeah, so no, we're not yeeting the computer. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to install Revo uninstaller and then just nuke all the whatever the fuck is going on that computer. That's the only way to get rid of McAfee is with Revo.
I'm hungry.
Okay, we should end the stream. You can eat my dick. Anyway. End credits.
Nope.